He's done it again.
He's done it again.
Hello. What? I'm sorry, everybody. I honestly do not know what's happening here. The StreamYard was playing up something rotten. Literally, I pressed the intro to come on, and I don't even think the intro came on for me. And I just pressed the live button, and we went live, and I was mute. So there you go. These streams are always very professional, and within the first 10 seconds, I completely fuck it up. But there we go. But anyway, hope everyone's doing well, and welcome back to another Wednesday night movie live stream with me, Pete Playtendoguy, and I'm joined as always by Andy from Forgotten World of Movies.
Hi, everyone.
Mike from Cinema Axman.
Hello.
Scott, the movie critic.
Hello, everyone.
I didn't bugger that one up. That's good.
Yeah, thankfully.
Tonight we've got two very special guests. We have Danielle here. Thanks for joining, Danielle. And we've also got Mike here from T-Shizzle. So thanks for joining as well, Mike.
Going.
Brilliant. Hope everyone's doing well, and I hope they're all looking forward to a nice stream full of fun and basically movie chat. So yeah, before we get into the comments section, the only one question I ask you as always is, what are some of the films that you've watched over the past week? Do you want to go first, Andy?
Yeah, sure. I went to see Knock at the Cabin on Monday, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I watched a movie the other night called Big Trouble, which just had an amazing cast, and it was just so much fun with Tim Allen. And I've just sort of nearly finished watching Coach Carter for the first time.
That's a good film.
Yeah, and I watched a movie from the 80s called The Wildlife, which I know Mike's seen, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's just some stuff I've been watching.
That's a really good selection of stuff there. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed Knock at the Cabin. I've been hearing some pretty positive things about it. Would you say it's better than Old?
Oh yeah, definitely better than Old. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. Hopefully get to go and see it soon. I'm hearing all the positive buzz. Is that right? Rupert Grint's in it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sold. Brilliant. What about you, Danielle? What have you watched over the past week?
I'm really bad, and I'm not as good as you guys for watching loads of stuff.
Well, trust me, I'm absolutely rubbish. I still haven't seen Fright Night and loads of popular films.
I actually watched the Pamela Anderson documentary on Netflix. Ooh. That was actually really good because I watched the Pam and Tommy Disney Plus series last year, and I really enjoyed that. But it was really nice to kind of see her perspective on the story, because she had no involvement with the Disney Plus show, and now I feel really bad for watching the Disney Plus show because I love Pamela, and now I feel really bad that I watched it, if that makes sense. I have a bit of guilt. And then last night we started watching, I think it's called 4 More Days, that's just come on Netflix with Mila Kunis. And then I fell asleep, so we need to finish watching the rest. But that
sounds good. Good selection of stuff there. I have heard that there's a new Pamela Anderson sort of documentary on Netflix. I'll have to give that a watch. I quite enjoyed Pam and Tommy too. I thought it was pretty good, but I'm intrigued to see what her real perspective of it is. I'll have to check that one out. Good to hear. Have you got anything else on your watch list that you're thinking about watching soon, Danielle?
Apart from Scream 6, and I'm also going to go to the cinema with Scott to watch that, and we're going to go and watch Evil Dead. I'm kind of a person who will just scroll on Netflix and be like, if that kind of suits me, I'll just watch it. I'm not really have anything planned as such.
I don't blame you, but very good choices there with Scream 6 and Evil Dead Rise. They both look like they're going to be a brilliant time when they come out.
Definitely.
Right. What about you, Cinema Axman? I'm just going to call you Axman tonight.
Not a lot really. The only one movie probably worth mentioning is I watched the Whale at the weekend with Brendan Fraser, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Really good performance from not just him, but the whole cast is really good in that movie. And yeah, it's a pretty tough watch in places, but yeah, it was good.
Oh, glad to hear you enjoyed it. I know the reception has been very mixed on the film for a little while now, but I do want to go and see it. I've heard it's quite an emotional watch, but it's good to see Brendan Fraser back on the big screen.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I've never really seen it before in a cinema where whilst the movie was playing, there was quite a few moments where, you know, quite emotional moments, and I'd never heard so many people in the cinema, like, you know, sort of sniffing or sniveling as if they've like been crying. Like, there was just so many people like doing that. It was yeah, it was weird. I've never really seen that before in the cinema. And then when the movie was over, there was so many people kind of like, you know, just wiping their eyes and tissues and all that. And yeah, it was weird.
Oh wow, I better get round to it, but I better bring a box of Kleenex with me for it, I think. What about you, T-Shizzle? What have you been watching recently?
I went watching Knock at the Cabin last Friday on the release date. Really enjoyed it. I thought Batista did well. Dave Batista in his character. You know, he's like underrated movie actor, so well, I thought he did a really good job of it. And on Saturday just gone, I watched Terrified 2 with Matt, Vengeance Media, and with Scott as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
I see a bit of that. That was a good watch along. I still need to see the film.
Yeah. I watched Lethal Weapon 2 last night with Matt again on a messenger chat thing. So that was good as well.
Oh, very good selection of films there. Would you say Lethal Weapon 2 is better than the first one, or about the same?
I don't know. It's a really hard one. For me, yeah. I'd say number 2 favourite.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, are you going to be watching the third and fourth one with Matt later on down the road?
We probably do at some point, yeah.
Sounds good. And what about you, Scott? What have you been watching over the past week?
I've watched quite a few films, to be fair, recently. So on Saturday, I rewatched Roadhouse in 4K, which was awesome. Really enjoyed that. Great film, one of my favourites. I also watched for the first time Electric Dreams, which I thought was a pretty good movie. Although for the first 15 minutes, I really didn't know what was happening. But as the film started to move on, I started to get more connected with the story and that. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. And the song itself is an absolute banger as well. So there's that as well. And I also watched Terrified 2, as Mike said. And yeah, that was awesome. Really enjoyed watching that again. On Sunday, I finally got round to watching A Time to Kill, which I know is one of Andy's favourite films. And yeah, that film was absolutely fantastic. And the cast in that film's just incredible. Like so many great actors and actresses. And that you got Sandra Bullock, Kiefer Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, Matthew McConaughey, Samuel Jackson. So the cast is just absolutely stacked in that film, and it is really, really good. I also watched The Wedding Singer for the first time, which I thought was really entertaining. Absolutely loved that, and I could see it. Danielle was really surprised by that. Watching it for the first time.
You this long to watch it.
Yeah, I know. There's still a lot of thoughts I need to get around to. Yeah, it was really fun, to be fair. And what did I watch last night? Oh, I watched the remake of 13 Ghosts, which I thought was entertaining, but it's not a great film.
Very good selection there, Scott. So many titles there, and you remembered them brilliantly. I can't even remember half of them, unfortunately.
I tried my best.
You did really well there. So Terrifier 2, I know you did the watch along with Micah and Matt. That was a very entertaining watch. I did see a bit of it, but unfortunately I didn't see all of it. Did you come out with your iconic line of what you described out the clown house?
Oh, yes. Wait, what? Clown house?
Art the clown. What do you call Art the clown?
He's an evil fucker.
It's the pronunciation of it. It just makes it even better.
Brilliant. I love it. You couldn't put it better than anything else. You did that video and I was in Costa and the girl was saying, "What can I get you?" And it played Art the Clown's an evil fucker when she asked me what I want. And I was just like, sorry about this. Oh, could I have a latte, please?
Yeah,
That was
probably
pretty
wouldn't
awkward.
play that video at cost of Pete, not gonna lie.
No. Well, I didn't thought it was going to be that bad. It just came out with that, and I was like, whoa! And I didn't turn the volume down, did I? But very good selection of stuff. That one that you were talking about, A Time to Kill, that sounds great with a great cast there.
Yeah, it's a really good film to be fair. I really like that one.
Oh, good to hear. And the first time watching The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, loved it.
Oh,
Thought it was great.
It's one of Adam Sandler's best films, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah. Awesome. And as for me, for what I've watched over the past week, now this is quite a hard thing, I can't bloody remember. I watched that film Fall. That was really good and kind of terrifying because I'm pretty crap with heights, so I was cracking myself all the way through that. I watched Police Story 1 and 2. Had so much fun with them. Jackie Chan, really fun action films. Got the third one now, so look forward to watching that one at the weekend. I watched that thing called The War Zone with Ray Winston and Tilda Swinton last night. That is a rough watch. That is really, but it was a very good film, very well acted, and it was directed by Tim Roth, and that's his first ever and only directorial role. But incredible, but really, really harsh film. And I've been watching The Professionals on TV as well, and been enjoying that, but not a lot else. So right, before we get in, pardon?
I was saying The Professionals is a fun series. I enjoyed that.
It is the theme song gets you pumped, I must admit. Right, and I've kind of why I keep holding myself like this, like I'm some sort of news broadcaster. Breaking news, right? Anyway, I keep forgetting my lines, but anyway, before we get on to the comments,
about the nerves, so it's okay.
There's nothing to be nervous about. If anybody's going to bugger up, it's going to be me. Could be worse. I mean, I pronounce Dustin Hoffman as Dustbin Hoffman, and you know that's that bad. Anyway, before we get into the comment section, Mike, do you want to promote your Instagram page, T-Shizzle, and your Vengeance Media page for Matt?
Yeah, me and Matt do our own podcast, and we're trying at the moment we're trying to get more guests to the podcast as well. So we've got one lined up for next week. I think it's Monday or Tuesday with Brittany Butler from the Voice TV program. Oh, really? So she's a real fan of Titanic. So we're gonna chat with her next week, and we've got 2 more guests in April, which I can't announce yet. So top secret.
Top secret. That sounds brilliant. I'm looking forward to those. Your previous one was very good.
Yeah.
And what about you, Danielle? Do you want to promote your YouTube channel or Instagram page if you have one?
I don't even know what my YouTube name is. Oh, that's so bad, isn't it? I mean, if you want, you can follow my Instagram account, which is at Danny_Wild.
Okay, I've left the links to everybody's channels and Instagram pages in the description down below, so go and follow them, subscribe to them, whatever you do on Instagram. I'm still learning how to use the thing. But anyway, let's get on with the show. Get on with the show? Let's get on with the comments.
Go on, Pete.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the comments to actually all load up because my phone's playing up something rotten tonight. Well, anyway, first up we have, when the comment pops up, oh, this is going to be dreadful tonight. We have the One Real Nerd saying, hey, all you amazing people. Oh, thanks ever so much, mate. Looking forward to an incredible, fun time tonight. Such a cool time hanging out with all you on your stream. You're all awesome. Thanks ever so much, mate. Really do appreciate your support. And great work with your stream last night with AJ. look forward to your future ones, because I know I'm going to be on one, and I think Jamie's going to be on one, and a few other people. So I'm look forward to seeing them. Next up, we have Edward here saying, "Evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all well. Hope you're doing well, Edward. And what's your thoughts on Faulty Towers set to be revived more than 40 years later and with John Cleese's daughter?" Wow, that sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I do like Faulty Towers, but it's probably best to leave it in the past. I just do not think it will work nowadays. I know they did this advert for Specsavers years ago with Basil Fawlty, and that was fine, but don't do a series 40 years later. Well, anyway, I think John Cleese is like 80 odd, so I can't see he'd be owning a hotel now, but I don't know. Probably best to leave that on the drawing board, leave it and don't bring it out. What do you think, Andy?
I'm with you, Pete. Just leave it alone. It was a short and sweet series. We don't need to see anything new. It's a classic for a reason. Just leave it alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Danielle?
I am agreeing with you guys. I just think sometimes things just need to be left as is. Like, why are we going in this cycle of trying to revive everything in the past at the moment? Like, surely there's got to be new content out there somewhere. Why are we trying to bring back things that just won't sit well in this era? So I don't think it's going to work.
Right, I agree. What about you, Axeman?
Honestly, no. It sounds like the worst idea in the world. John Cleese can barely stand up, let alone do anything else these days. Like it just sounds awful. Like what made him as Basil Fawlty so great was the fact that he was always so crazy and he always overreacted to things. Whereas at the age he is now, I just can't imagine him being that same character. And yeah, it just sounds awful. I'm just with you guys. Just let it rest. Like, just don't touch it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Mike. He won't be able to pull off those stunts or be getting a hernia within seconds.
Yeah.
What about you, T-Shizzle? What do you think?
Nah, it's a no for me, sorry. But just leave it alone. I'm just quite happy with the original series and that, so...
Definitely. I do agree there. And Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree with all you, to be honest, although I still need to actually watch the original series properly. Still a show I need to get round to, yeah. I've seen
You're in
clips
for
of
a
it,
treat
but
there.
yeah, definitely. It does look pretty good. But yeah, I think they should just leave it alone, to be honest.
Next up, we have One Real Nerd saying hey to Edward. And next up, we have Mike here from Did You See That saying hi, guys and girl. Hope you're all doing well. Hey, Mike.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
One Real Nerd saying hey to Mike, and Mike's doing the same. Unfortunately, there's a delay in these comments horrendously. And One Real Nerd just says, great. That's great. We have True Action Star the Dow saying, hey everyone, I'm just leaving Asda with the wife. The boot is full of shopping. Great. Fair enough. One Real Nerd says hey to Action Star, and Action Star says the same to him. True Action Star says, gonna get some snacks and watch. Awesome. Hope you enjoy your snacks. One Real Nerd says, True Action Star, are you going to have curry tonight? Probably not after last week. We've got Sinjin here saying, a very good evening to all you guys. What we got in store for tonight? Enjoyed your last stream last Friday, Scott. Great work.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate that.
Thanks ever so much, Sinjin. And I do agree, Scott's streams are an absolute blast. Can't wait till Friday night, mate.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be a lot of fun.
We've got One Real Nerd just saying Sin. Sinjin saying hey to him. And One Real Nerd says, all good. Comments are going weird again. I'm sorry about this for some reason. I'm the one having technical issues tonight. I don't know why it's so laggy, but anyway, we have Matt here from Vengeance Media with the best question of the night already. What scene in any movie makes you throb harder than Tarantino when he's filming feet? Fucking hell.
It's a very specific scenario to compare it to.
Jeez, what happens to Tarantino if he goes into Clark's or Shoe Zone? Bugger me. I'm going to go straight to Andy at the moment. Let him go first.
You're looking at me like as if I've got an answer to this.
You're the movie expert.
How do you answer that?
All I can say is that I'm glad that I'm not first this week because I'm normally always at the top.
I never thought I'd say this, but come back to me.
No, don't worry.
Next.
Oh god.
We'll let Scott go first.
Oh, come on. Oh, I don't know. Come back to me.
This is going to be a very popular film. Come back to me, I bet. Mike Axman.
I'm honestly drawing a blank. Like, I really can't think of anything. It's quite a hard question.
Yep. It is a
That's
hard
my way of
question
just
and...
going past that question.
Yep. Can you think of one, T-Shizzle?
I'm going to have to pass, sorry.
Don't worry.
I'm trying to
Danielle, do you want to take it?
I'm
The
going to pass
answer?
on this one as well, if everyone else is.
Don't worry. I think I'm going to pass as well. What's the next letter, Dale? Pardon, what you say, T-Shizzle?
I'll probably remember something later.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of one, Wolf of Wall Street with Margot Robbie. There you go. That's a nice, easy answer. Yeah, Mum. Yeah, somebody did ask that question. Do you want to go and ask Dad that question?
Oh.
She's gone and asked him. True Action Star says, evening everyone, I'm looking forward to tonight. Full support tonight up. Thanks ever so much, True Action Star. Next up we have one real nerd with his thumbs up. Thumbs up to you, my friend. We have True Action Star saying, hey, Forgotten World, Axeman, and Scott the Mortal Kombat critic. If it actually comes up. No, don't worry. One real nerd says, hey, all that True Action said, same said. No. Oh, thanks, mate. Right, we have a question here. Mike says, if you could direct a movie with an unlimited budget, but the catch is it has to be a remake or reboot of a franchise, what movie are you making and who's your lead male and female role?
Ooh.
Very good
That's
question.
That's a really hard
there,
question.
Yeah.
It is. Do you want to go first, Andy?
Okay, I'd do a remake of a film from the 70s called Don't Look Now. And I'd have maybe Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore in the leads because they just have great chemistry. So I need to see another film with them two in because I love The Wedding Singer and I love 50 First Dates and I just want to see more of them together because they just have great chemistry.
That's a very good choice there, Andy.
Well,
what about you, Dan?
I'd throw in a horror film, but yeah.
That's a good idea. I'd love to see that. Great to see Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore back. It's been a long while.
Yeah.
Danielle, what about you?
Do you know what? This is a really hard question because I'm trying to think of all the films I love, but I've got like issues with. I can't change that if I did it. I'm going really struggling. Can you maybe come back to me on that one if that's okay? Well, I have a think.
No worries. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling on this one as well, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Come back to me on that one.
I'll get back to you. Mike Axman?
It's a really hard question because I'm not really the biggest fan of remakes, and I feel like a bit of a hypocrite. I was a director and I was just making a remake of something. And plus most of like the older movies are just I just wouldn't want to touch them and remake them. So it's a tough question. The only movie I could maybe think of, but then at the same time I wouldn't want to remake it, is probably maybe like 12 Angry Men, but just with like a modern cast. But at the same time, the movie is perfect and it doesn't need remaking. So it's a really tough question.
Yeah, that's a good answer. But yeah, I get where you're coming from there. What about you, T-Shizzle?
I remember answering this. I think it was like the other week. I'd love to do a remake of Basic Instinct with like Margot Robbie in it as well. And I don't know. It's a bit of an hard one. Like you could play like a male in it. Don't know. It's an hard one. But that's what I would do if it was directing.
Well, I'd bank well for that answer alone. What about you, Scott?
I haven't seen the original movie, but I'd like to do a remake of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think that'd be pretty cool to do.
That's a good idea.
I'm not sure who I would cast in it, but I just think it'd be quite cool to remake that.
Great answer there, Scott. And what about you, Danielle?
Okay, you're all probably going to laugh at me, and I know James, my fiance, is going to laugh at my answer, but I wouldn't change the male and the female character. I would just change how the whole films are done. But one of my favourite film series is After, and they went so far off the book, like the book series, to the point where it didn't make any sense. So if I was director, I'd try and align the books a lot better, but I'd keep the male and female lead because it really works. That's probably the only thing I'd do.
Oh, that sounds really good. Great answer there. For me, I have been pondering this whilst everybody's been answering, and I haven't got a clue. Oh, we could have a... Why would I... First thing that's come into my head is a remake of E.T. for some reason, with Austin Butler and... Who else was it? Who came in my name? Cameron Diaz. So there you go. That sounds like a disaster. A bit like the Fawlty Towers reboot. Yeah, it's a very interesting combination. That's the only thing that's really come into my head at first. Or we could have like a remake of The Goonies, I suppose. But I think they are doing that.
Probably, yeah. To be fair.
We have True Action Stars saying, "Hey Shizzle" and "Hey Danielle."
Hey.
We've got Matt saying hey to True Action Star and Mike from See That. We have Rogue saying hello. Hello, Rogue. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We have Matt also saying, favourite ghost face quote that isn't "What's your favourite scary movie?" Ooh. Google, help me.
I'm absolutely shit at remembering movie quotes, so I'm not going to lie.
Favourite film? I'm like a bank.
I won that one as well. There's quite a few.
I'm going to look this up, actually.
I'm going to say, you hang up on me again and I'll get you like a fish. I can remember that line. So I'll just say that one. That's from the first one, isn't it? I think with Drew Barrymore. So I'll say that one. Do you want to go next then, Danielle? I know you're a fan of Scream.
For some reason, I always love it when he's on the phone. He's like, I want to see what your insides look like. How delightful.
Yeah, that's I can remember that one. That's an interesting quote to say. Can you think of one, Andy?
I thought I could think of is if you hang up on me, you bitch, I'm going to gut you like a fish.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Which one's that one from?
The first film.
I think it's the first
The
one.
first one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Drew
Oh,
Barrymore
darn good.
thing.
Yeah, down Google didn't put bitch in it. It just says, I'll get you like a
It
bitch.
does. It does.
Oh. So, Scott, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I'm gonna go same as Andy.
Awesome. T-Shizzle?
The only one I can think of is from number 2, where the scene with Noah with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
And he says to her, like, "Do you want to die tonight, Cece?" Like all that, like that one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good quote. And what about you, Mike Axman?
I'm going to cheat here a little bit, but he's still in the movie. But I'm going to say the Ghostface from Scary Movie. There's like so many quotes that he'd say, but there's one bit in that movie when he's like rapping with Shorty, and just the rap he does is just hysterical. I don't really want to say it all, but if you've seen the movie and you know the rap, it's just hilarious.
Good pick there, Mike.
What a film.
Next up, we have Hicks01 saying evening all. Evening, mate. We have Rogue's Real One Nerd saying hey to Rogue. And Matt saying Real Nerd was awesome last week. I definitely do agree. One Real Nerd just saying hey to Danielle and Shizzle. Though he spelled it as Daniel for some reason.
Easy mistake.
We've got Josh here saying hey all. Hey Josh, hope you're
Hello,
doing
Josh.
well again. One Real Nerd says muted again. Yeah, for some reason StreamYard seems to do it to me. Don't know why. True Action Star says, and of course, hello Playtendoguy, and a very special hello from the wife. Why, hello there, Mrs. True Action Star. Hope you're having a nice evening.
God.
Oh, so hard to keep it in.
Fucking hell,
Oh.
Scott.
He's already in tears. Oh. Josh says, watch Bones and All again today, and I fell in love with it on a rewatch. A super dark and fascinating look at hunger and cravings. Awesome. I've heard it's a pretty tough watch as well. It's something to do with cannibals. It's got Timothy Chalamet in, so that's pretty good. And Mark Royless, the BFG guy. So yeah, it's out this week, I think. Have you seen it, Andy?
Yeah, no, I got my copy of it on Saturday, but I've not got around to watching it yet.
No. Have you seen it, Danielle?
Not from me, but Josh's letterbox review looks really good on it. So
Yes, I agree there. Have you seen it, Scott?
I haven't, but it is a film that I'm wanting to check out for quite a while, so I will get round to watching it.
Cool. T-Shizzle, have you seen it yet?
I've not seen it yet, but I've heard good reviews about it though.
Cool. And Mike Axman, have you seen it?
No, to be honest, I haven't really heard that much about it. I don't even think I've seen a trailer, so yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Next up, we've got Sinjin saying Pete's been on the pig juice again. No, I haven't touched that in weeks and never going to try it again. Matt V Movies here saying evening all. Evening, Matt. Hope you're doing well, mate. True Action Stars repeated it again for some reason. I'm not saying another special hello to your wife, but I've just done it, so. All right, and hello, Mrs. True Action Star. Josh says, Knock at the Cabin was pretty decent. Wouldn't say I love it, but it's probably Shyamalan's best film since Split, and it takes itself seriously and has a purpose to exist. Oh, that's good to hear. You really enjoyed it, Scott.
I what?
I know. Scott.
Only you, Pete. Love it.
Scott going, what? Scott, you're making me laugh so
Right, I'm
I'm
glad
not
to
even
hear
trying.
I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. Josh, got it right there. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you watched old and you wasn't the biggest fan of it, but you did find that quite entertaining in parts. So I'll have to give Knock at the Cabin a go in the future.
Oh, that's really tickled me.
We've got the viewer Drew here saying, "Hey, what's up?" Hey, Drew. Got one real nerd saying, "Hey to Matt." We've got Josh here saying, "I've been watching Lux Eterna, Bones and All, Knock at the Cabin, One Fine Morning, Missing, and a bunch of movie short films." Oh, that's good. Nice selection of stuff there, mate. Sorry about this. The comments are so slow and behind, but we have one real nerd saying, "Hey to you." True Action Star says, "What did you guys think of the Happy Valley finale?" I haven't even finished the series yet. Does anybody else watch Happy Valley?
No.
No one episode.
I've never watched it.
No. We've got Rogue here saying that he watched The Whale today, but my thoughts are mixed at the moment. Look forward to hearing what you think of it, mate. Next up, we have Josh here saying, "Booked to see Ant-Man next week. Can't say I'm buzzing for it, but it's something to watch, and Jonathan Majors is a king." Yes, he's going to be in the new Creed film as well, isn't he, I think? So he's getting around at the moment. Ant-Man film, it looks okay, I suppose. But it's another Marvel film, and I'm not in a rush to see it. What about you, Andy?
I've got my ticket book for it, but it's probably one of the ones I've looked forward to the most, I think, out of what we've had. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. I've got to be honest, because I do quite like the Ant-Man movies. But yeah, it's just one of them.
Yeah, I get that. Danielle, are you interested in Ant-Man?
I'll probably watch it when it comes on Disney Plus, but I'm not jumping at the bit to go and see it in the cinema.
Yep, sounds about me. I'll probably watch it on Disney Plus as well. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I'll probably just wait for it to come out on Blu-ray and probably watch it on Blu-ray. I'm not too excited to see it at cinema, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What about you, T-Shizzle?
No, not for me. Sorry. I'm more of a DC fan more than the Marvel. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
No worries there. And what about you, Mike Axman?
Yeah, not for me either. I'll probably see it at some point, but yeah, I don't know when that will be.
No worries. We have Matt saying, "Hey to one real nerd." Sinjin saying he's looking forward to watching The Whale. Well, I hope you enjoy it when you get round to watching it, mate. And look forward to hearing your opinion on it. We've got David here saying, "Good evening. This is going to be a good evening with you all." Thanks ever so much, David. Really appreciate the support. Josh says, "Wasn't a fan of The Whale at all. The writer trying to compare himself to the writer of a certain book came across as extremely shameless. Love the performances from Fraser and Chalvo." Oh, that's good. I've heard the performances are very good, so glad you enjoyed some of it, Josh. We've got James here from Movie Bug saying, "Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well." Hey James, hope you're doing well, man. We've got True Action Star saying, "Faulty Towers is coming back. What's your thoughts?" We did talk about this earlier, mate. Not excited at all. We've got One Real Nerd saying, "Electric Dreams." Oh, that's the song, Together in Electric Dreams. Is that in the film?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is a catchy song that's in my head now.
It's such a good song.
It is really
It
good.
is. Sinjin says, "What do you think about Mel Gibson directing Lethal Weapon 5? Do we really need another lethal weapon? I mean, it's more like pensioner weapon more than anything, because they're like in the 70s and 80s now. So I can't see they're going to be. It's not going to be very realistic anyway, but could be pretty good. I know Mel Gibson was working with Richard Donner to try and do it before Richard Donner passed away. So I'm intrigued to give it a go. But I think it's going to HBO Max, so that probably gives you an idea on its quality. What do you think, Andy?
Well, I've wanted a Lethal Weapon 5 for like the longest time now. But Mel Gibson is an amazing director. I don't think that can be argued with, but yeah, I think it's too late in the day, sadly.
It's very much like Beverly Hills Cop. We're getting another one of them and all, and that's just like 20 years too late.
Yeah.
What about you, Danielle?
I can't really comment. I've never seen them, so I can't really give my opinion on it. So
no worries, Scott.
Yeah, well, I pretty much agree with everything that Andy said, to be fair. Mel Gibson is an absolutely cracking director. I really love some of his films. Hacksaw Ridge in particular, that's one of my favourite movies ever. And I love the Lethal Weapon franchise. So seeing the Lethal Weapon 5 would be great, but again, it's probably a bit too late now.
Yep, definitely agree there. What about you, T-Shizzle?
I wouldn't mind seeing what they do with it, with the storyline and etc. Like Andy said, I finished done it like earlier a few years ago, but I'd love to see the interest in it, like see what happens in it, like. But, yeah.
To catch up with these characters after so long, it'll be interesting to see what they get up to. I wonder if Joe Pesci will come back in it.
You never know.
That'd be nice. And what about you, Mike Axeman?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as you guys. I think it's just a bit too late. Like in the first movie, Danny Glover's character was, he kept saying, "I'm too old for this shit." So if he was too old in the first movie, like surely he's not going to still be in the police force in this new movie, because if he is, he needs to. Yeah, I don't know. It's just strange. And I feel like I can envision how this movie is going to be. I feel like it's going to be them retired, and it's going to be more about their kids or something, as all of these legacy sequels tend to be. And I really hate it when they do that. And I'm just not really that excited for it. But as Andy said, like Mel Gibson is a pretty good director, so you never know. It might be good. And also, and also, Lethal Weapon 4 has the perfect ending. Like I love how that movie ends. Like it kind of it really like closes the curtain on the whole franchise. And I just feel like if there's another film, it kind of undoes all that a little bit. So I don't know.
I agree there. Definitely about the fourth one, it does end it perfectly, and it kind of feels like with this fifth one, not needed. I hope they don't go down the legacy sequel route with like a requel, is it? Whatever they call it. But it wouldn't surprise me, because that's the new trend now, isn't it? We have Rogue saying, "I booked to see Marcel the Shell with suit shoes on next Wednesday. Yes, it's finally getting a UK release." Wow, I thought this came out last year. I know Josh has seen it quite a few times, but I haven't seen it yet. It looks pretty cool and interesting, quite cute. I know, Andy, you've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got it on Blu-ray, but it's a fun, cute film for like the first half, but then it gets really depressing. Like it really hits hard without spoiling it. But yeah, it's a well-made film. But I think it was probably just like a one-time watch for me.
Oh, right. Yeah. You seen it, Danielle?
No, I've seen about it, and I've seen the trailer, and it does look cute. But now Andy said that, I don't really want to watch 15 minutes of cuteness.
Don't let me put you off. Like, check it out if you want to. But yeah, that's just what I got out of it.
I'm sure if Josh is here, he'll put in the comments section what he thought about it. But I'm pretty certain he really loved it. You seen it, Scott?
I haven't yet, no, but it's a film that I've been meaning to check out for quite a long time because I have heard really great things about it, and it does look like a really good film. So yeah, looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I'm glad it's finally getting a release over here. That's one good thing. Mike Axman?
I mean, I saw the trailer for the first time when I went to see The Whale, and initially I was like, what the hell is this? Like, this movie just looks so bizarre. But I do like my weird movies. But yeah, I wasn't completely sold on the trailer, but I don't know, maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah. And what about you, T-Shizzle?
I've not seen the trailer yet, but I'll have to look it up after the live, so see what I think of it.
Awesome. We have James saying, Babylon has been my favourite UK release this year so far. What's your favourite so far? I think the only thing I've probably seen this year, new film, is probably the Whitney Houston one, which probably came out at Christmas, and Puss in Boots, which just came out. So I'll say Puss in Boots for me. Andy?
I'm gonna have to say Knock at the Cabin, I think. The thing is with that movie is it kept me guessing right to the very end. And if a movie can do that, I get impressed by it, because it's not often you can sit there with a movie going, oh my god, where's this going to go? What's going to happen? But yeah, I was really impressed with it. Batista in it was just amazing. After watching, what was it, with Zack Snyder's, was it Army of the Dead? I just thought, this guy just can't act. But he proved me wrong in Knock at the Cabin. He was just very calm, but still very menacing at the same time. I just was really impressed with the film. Not perfect, but I enjoyed it.
Oh,
yeah.
Glad to hear you enjoyed it that much. I really am looking forward to checking that out. And the way you've described it has sold it to me even more now.
Yeah, same here.
Danielle, what about you?
I haven't been to the cinema yet this year, which is really bad, but nothing has kind of grabbed me. So yeah, I'm yet to decide.
You okay? Scott, what about you?
I would have to go with The Fabelmans. I thought that was a really excellent Steven Spielberg film from this year. Really enjoyed that one. All the performances in that film were just amazing, and I was really engaged with the story throughout, so I'd have to go with that one.
Great pick. I've been hearing some amazing things about that one as well. Definitely high on the watch list, that one is. T-Shizzle, what about you?
For me, at the moment, I've got to go with Babylon. Yeah, I thought I said that's one of my best films I've seen in the cinema. So
that good.
It's got to be. I think it's got to be like my number one this year so far. But you never know; it might change. So
It's still only the start of the year, but that's good to hear you enjoyed Babylon a lot.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And Mike Axman, what about you?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go the same as Scott. Say The Fabelmans. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Really, really enjoyable movie.
Brilliant. Next up, we have Josh saying, will you be watching Bo Travoli tonight? He'll be watching Bo Travoli tonight's Study. Claire Dennis is a great director, and I've heard it's an amazing film, so I can't wait. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Have any of you seen that one?
I've heard of it, but I literally know nothing about it, so I can't really comment on it, unfortunately.
No. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Josh. Hicks01 watched The Keep and Remo Williams at the weekend. First time watching them and thought they were really good. Oh, great to hear that. I have heard of The Keep, but I haven't heard of the other ones. Have you seen any of these films? Andy?
I've seen The Keep.
Yeah. What you thought of that?
Flawed, but interesting.
Hasn't Remo Williams got Fred Ward in it?
Yeah.
It might have, yeah.
I want to watch that film, to be fair. Looking forward to watching that one.
Oh, cool. And Mike Axman, you've seen him?
Yeah, I love The Keep. I think, like Andy said, it is a very flawed movie, but I still love it nonetheless. Remo Williams is okay. It's kind of like an American James Bond. Yeah, it's not bad.
That sounds fun. You seen it, T-Shizzle or Danielle?
I haven't seen them both. Sorry, no.
No, no worries. We've got Josh saying hey to Moviebug, and Moviebug saying hey to Josh. And right, we have Andy Like Stuff here saying, hey guys, hope you're all well. What are your thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer getting a legacy sequel? After the success of Scream and like Halloween, it's no surprise that one's getting a legacy sequel. I enjoyed the first two I Know What You Did Last Summer films, so yeah, I'll be up for it. Is it really needed? Not really, but I'll look forward to it. What do you think, Andy?
Pretty much the same as you, Pete. The first two movies are fun. They're not great, but they're fun. The third one's god awful. But yeah, I'd be excited to see that cast back again. It's just they're a fun. The movie's got a fun cast, but you don't see them much in anything nowadays. So it'd be nice to see them back.
That's true about cast. You don't see them a lot these days. Yeah. Right. Danielle, what about you?
I think it really depends on the storyline, because it could just ruin it, or it could. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no middle ground with this. It's either going to be awful or it's going to be really good. I'd be interested to see it, but it's not something that I would have been dying to happen. I just kind of think it's one of those things that's, you know what, just leave it alone.
Yeah, I can definitely see why. It's not needed, but obviously they're going to try after all the success with other films. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, but I'll be quite interested to see what they do with it. To be fair, I don't think it's like fully necessary, but I like the first one. The first one's actually the only one that I've seen, and I did really enjoyed it. It's not great, like Andy said, but it's a fun movie, and I really like the cast in it, so it would be cool to see a new one.
Sounds good. T-Shizzle, what about you?
Yeah, I'm up for it 100%, to be honest. I enjoyed the first and the second, and hated the third one. So I think that if this one works, this remake, I'd say I'd replace it. I'd place it as the third one. Make it a trilogy then. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ignore the third one. And what about you, Mike Axman?
Yeah, I think it probably just depends on the story. I like the first movie, but I don't really think like the series has the same kind of legacy or lasting impact that, say, the Scream franchise does. So I don't know. It could work maybe, but then again, I feel like if they do it, it'll just be like all the others, where it's about the kids more than the main characters from the original. And yeah, I'm just not really a big fan of that. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from there, Mike. We have Josh here saying my favourite 2023 release so far is either Close by Lucas Donut or Woman Talking. They both release here very soon. Can't wait to watch them again. Oh, cool. Haven't heard of them ones before, but keep an eye on them. We have Mike here from Did You See That saying, what's an underrated or not talked enough about trilogy that each of you would recommend to check out? Great question there, Mike. So an underrated trilogy. I can think of an underrated trilogy, and I know a certain someone will be jumping up with joy when I say it. The Clerks trilogy. I think that's a very solid trilogy, and I know a certain someone will agree with me on that. The first one's classic. The second one's probably my favourite, and the third one is surprisingly emotional. So there's my go. What about you, Andy? Can you think of one?
I'd say as a trilogy, like the first movie does get talked about quite a bit, but as a trilogy, for me, it does work, and it's the Naked Gun trilogy. It's just, yeah, that trilogy is hysterical from start to finish.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. We're getting a reboot, aren't we, with Liam Neeson for some reason?
Why?
I don't understand why. I'm kind of dreading it, and I know it's going to be full of Taken jokes for some reason. It's just going to be
Just watch the original 3. You can't go wrong.
Yeah,
You know.
I agree.
What about you, Danielle?
I don't know. I'm really struggling with that because I feel like all the things that I would say are talked about a lot. Like I'm not really like one to have like a hidden, and then I'm questioning myself whether it's a trilogy or there's more. Like, was there more?
Well, you can
So,
say
yeah, I'm
whatever
not
you
really sure on
like.
that
It
one.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm not really sure. Sorry.
No worries. Scott?
Not to copy Andy, but I am gonna have to go with the Naked Gun trilogy myself. Just because that's the only thing that sprung into my head. So yeah, it have to be that.
Great pick there. T-Shizzle?
I'm gonna have to go with Danielle on that one. It's an hard one. So
No worries.
yeah.
Mike Axman?
Yeah, there's a couple for me. I'd probably say the Before trilogy, the ones with Ethan Hawke. They're pretty good. I don't feel like they get talked about too much. And also maybe like the Hannibal trilogy, the Anthony Hopkins ones, because I feel like most people just talk about Silence of the Lambs, but I think Red Dragon is a really solid movie. And I know Hannibal isn't quite as good, but I still think it's overall an enjoyable movie. But yeah, I think it's a fairly solid trilogy on the whole.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. Very good shout there with the Hannibal trilogy.
I actually really like Red Dragon. To be fair, I think that's a really good film.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a good
same
one.
here.
Yeah. We've got Sinjin here saying A Time to Kill is one I will have to rewatch. Haven't seen it in years, he says. I'll have to keep an eye
Amazing
out for that
film.
one.
It is fantastic.
I'd say it's
Another
one of my
one.
favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one to add to the watch list. Rogue says, I'm currently doing a ton of independent research on different directing styles for the short film I'm directing for uni. Oh, that's good to hear, mate. I look forward to seeing how your uni project goes. We have Matt here from Vengeance Media saying, sorry about this. Do you guys have any predictions for Scream 6? Yes. They're going to say, what's your favourite scary movie?
I think you might be right on that one.
But honestly, I don't know. I personally predict they're going to kill off Gale. I think that's going to happen in this one. That's the main thing. And the trailer kind of gives off some elements it may do, but I don't know. Andy?
Yeah, Nev Campbell's going to be the killer.
I've heard
we've all just been thrown off the scent that she's not going to be in it, and she's going to be in the killer. Yeah. Yeah.
They played us like a damn fiddle. She's in it after all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a very good thing if that happens. Danielle?
So I've seen a lot circulating, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get my hopes up that this happens, because if it doesn't, I'll be really upset. But I don't know if you guys saw in the trailer, it's like a homage to each film, and there's like collectible items. So it could be somebody from the very first film that we thought was killed off, but actually wasn't killed off, and he started a cult. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone and get anyone overexcited like I am. So
I think I know who you're talking about, and I think I know a few people who would be very excited if that was true.
Yeah.
Scott, what about you?
I'm probably gonna say Neve Campbell being a killer. I think that could be a possibility.
Yeah, that would be a really cool idea. T-Shizzle, what about you, mate?
I've got a feeling Samara Weaving will be the killer, and I think character might relate to Stu from the first film.
Ooh.
So that's what I think. So
that's
fingers
quite a
crossed.
cool prediction. Liking that one. What about you, Mike Axman?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'd probably just have to say that Courtney Cox will probably get killed in this movie. Yeah.
Not long to wait. It's out next month, isn't it? Early
Yeah.
March?
Yeah, that's the 10th. Yeah.
Oh, not too long. Can't wait.
Next month has some absolutely cracking films coming out next month. You got Creed 3, Evil Dead Rise, and Scream 6 all in the same month.
Isn't John Wick out next month as well, or is that April?
Not too sure.
Yeah, John Wick's out next month, and
Oh,
Evil
wow,
Dead
4.
Rise is on April. Sorry.
Ooh,
Oh, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah.
so that's a packed month and a bit. Ooh, can't wait. We have Stephen here, Stephen Anders, saying, what movie scared you all when you were a kid? Hey, Stephen, thanks for joining, mate.
Hello, Steve.
I'll tell you what scared me as a kid. Chucky. I don't know. I remember when I was about 3 or 4 years old, my stepbrother said, "I'll watch this, watch this." I couldn't sleep for bloody weeks, and every time I see the creepy thing, I'm like, I ain't watching you. It's putting me off watching it. But I have seen a couple of the films. They're not too bad. I've seen the TV series. Not too hot on that. But yeah, Chucky still terrifies me. If I see one of those dolls in the shop, I'm like, I'm moving away from you, you creepy bastard. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, mine was Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, he made me shit the bed for a month. That he just terrified the living piss out of me when I was a kid. When the ending gets revealed, fucking hell. Yeah, just stuff of nightmares.
It certainly is. I remember watching that as a kid. I was like, PG, PG. I think you've got that wrong there. Danielle, what about you?
So I have two. I have like a really dramatic one and then a really silly one. I'll go for my silly one first. It was Sloth from the Goonies. I refused to watch the Goonies as a child. Like, I would scream that house down if the Goonies was on. And then my second one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I absolutely hate that, man. Even still now, like no, thank you.
Good picks there. Scott, what about you?
The Shining. That creeped me the fuck out when I was a kid. I could not watch it for years. Jack Nicholson in that film just really scared me. And it was literally like a quick advertisement on a TV, and as soon as it came on, I literally ran up the stairs.
I was going to say, Scott, didn't Steve have a poster of The Shining in his room when we were growing up?
Yeah,
that
did,
literal image of him through the door, kind of go like with that hacksaw.
Yeah. That actually didn't scare me. It was everything before that scared me for some reason.
What was it now? The only thing that kind of scared me in The Shining was in those door scenes, and then you see like a bloke sitting there in a suit and somebody dressed up as a dog. That terrified me. What the heck's going on there? What about you, T-Shizzle?
It's gotta be the first Halloween when Laurie walks into the bedroom and sees the Judith Byers gravestone on the bed, and I was like, there's that creepy music, and I was like, I had to turn my face like that. I was like, oh
yeah, that is creepy.
Yeah.
And you, Mike Axeman?
I'm gonna have to go with Salem's Lot. There's like that scene where that creepy little fucking vampire kid is slapping at the window. Like that scene traumatized me, and I just when I went to bed that night, I had to turn away from my window. I just I don't know, that scene just ruined me as a child.
Still creepy now, to be fair. It's really scary moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy. I remember watching the sequel as a kid. That gave me nightmares for all the wrong reasons.
I think that's absolute shite, yeah.
You got away with words, Scott.
So do you, Pete.
I suppose so. Next up, we've got Sinjin saying Professionals was one of the best TV series back in the 70s and early 80s. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I'm having a lot of fun watching it. Some action-packed episodes and some quality writing. Certainly something you don't see in many TV shows these days.
classic series.
We have one real nerd saying, "Hey, movie bug." The Viva Drew says, aside from No Way Home and Endgame, what's a movie where you feel the third act was the best part of the movie? That's a good question. Oh, that's a hard one now. Can you think of one, Andy?
I can't at the minute. Come back to me.
You're right. Can you think of one, Danielle?
I'd say Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. That's
As
a good
much
pick
as
there.
like I'm a massive fan of obviously like the romance side of stuff, but obviously it kicks off massively. So I'd say Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. I can say the final third of Scream when it all sets out in the house at the end. That's a great final act, I think.
That's a good shout.
Scott?
I'd probably have to go with Day of the Dead, with George A. Romero film. I think the third act of that film's absolutely brilliant for obvious
Damn you, Scott.
reasons.
That's what came to mind.
Yeah.
T-Shizzle, what about you?
It's an hard one for me, to be honest, that one.
No worries.
Quite a lot. I don't know.
Can you think of one, Mike Axman?
Yeah, I'll probably go with Titanic. Like, I love the whole movie, but that final act when the ship's sinking is just awesome.
Yeah, that is a very good pick there. A heartbreaking final act of that film. Also coming out on 4K this week, isn't it? In cinemas as well, which is kind of tempting to go and see. Can you think of one, then, Andy?
Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I agree there. Great pick.
what a fun third act.
Oh yeah, definitely. The exploding head.
That part, when I first saw it, that kind of scared me. I was like, what the heck's going on in that scene?
Yeah, it's quite different.
Yeah, it is. One real nerd said, I would like to join a podcast. Yeah, that would be a good idea, mate. We've got Rehan here saying, when can I be a guest in your box? Hey, Rehan, hope you're doing well, buddy. Unfortunately, mate, we're very busy for the next few months, but we'll have to see some time later in the summertime, mate. We've got Josh here saying, Pete's becoming an SNL host. What, a Saturday Night Live host?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be up for that. Sinjin says, can't believe they are rebooting Faulty Towers. Next they'll be rebooting Rising Damp. It can't be done. That time is gone. Yeah, it just will not work. Come up with some new ideas, please. But I don't think that you've got any. That's the main reason they're doing it. The viewer Drew has sub to you, Danielle.
Thanks.
We've got True Action Star saying live on Friday, Scott, and who's the guests?
I am definitely live this Friday, and as always, you, Andy and Josh will be joining, and the special guests this week are Evander from Slayer Reviews and James from Movie Bug, so it should be a fantastic time as always.
Fantastic lineup for Friday night. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time.
Definitely.
Oh. My dad sounds like a zombie in there. He's just woke up asleep going, oh. Is the TV all right? The TV's all right, right. True Action Star says, we've not long got home from grocery shopping. We rushed to get that home to you guys. There's Asda queues, but we got some nice ice cream tonight. Oh, that's good. What sort of ice cream? Sinjin says, totally agree with you, Pete. Leave it alone. Absolutely. Matt says to True Action Star, what ice cream you get? Yeah, hopefully you got something very nice like Carte d'Or or Magnums. They're delicious. Or Kelly's Cornish ice cream. Ice cream.
this live tonight are going to be brilliant. It's
You want to see the outtakes for me filming the video? The amount of lines I bugger up.
Can you please make a blooper reel? I feel like I would thoroughly enjoy that.
Don't worry, I'm going to keep them all. I've got a selection of some, so I'm going to have to make a giant blooper reel and just upload it. I think that'd be quite a fun time. Right, we've got Rogue Cinema saying, the best directing advice I've gotten from a lecturer is that director and dictator aren't synonyms. Right. Okay. Vengeance Matt says, who is everyone's favourite Ghostface and why is it Matthew Lillard? Because it's Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
It's Matthew Lillard. That's the answer. He's so good in it.
Yeah.
Personally, I'll probably get some flack for this, but I didn't like the new Ghostface in the new Scream films. I thought they were annoying buggers, so I didn't like them. But I didn't mind one in the second one. But for me, yeah, Matthew Lillard, or is it Skeet Urchin, or whatever his name is in the first one? They're all right. Andy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Billy from the first one, because he has, in my opinion, he has the most underrated motive as to why he's doing it, and without giving it away, it's just awesome and it just makes sense.
Very good. Very good question answer, Andy. What about you, Danielle?
You can't beat the original. You can never beat the original duo. You just can't. So yeah, it would have to be Billy Loomis. He's the best for me, in my opinion.
Very good pick there, Danielle. And Scott?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Billy as well, to be fair. But I do really like, is it Jill from the fourth one? I thought she was actually really good, to be fair. But I still prefer Billy overall.
Yeah, definitely the first film was more iconic for their ghost faces, I think.
Definitely.
T-Shizzle, what about you?
Yeah, first one. All-time favourite. I've met both of them as well, so even got a fist bump off Matthew Lillard. So,
Oh, wow.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
That's cool.
I'm leaving. Bye.
And you, Mike Axman.
Yeah, just the same as everyone else. No one has topped those original two killers from the first movie. The ones from the second movie are okay, but I feel like from the third movie onwards, I just find all of them really annoying, especially that last movie. But yeah, just have to say the originals.
Oh, I do agree with you about the last film. They were annoying cunts in that one. Sorry.
Don't hold back, Pete, bloody hell.
No, you don't.
Josh says it's Matthew Lillard. Shaggy proves he's one nasty motherfucker. Yeah, he is. Yeah. We have Jason, the old millennial here. Hey, Jason, hope you're doing well, mate. I was watching Babylon, and the movie is on exaggeration of the Hollywood system. It's crazy, but very entertaining. I think it's better than the movies being nominated for Best Picture. I have heard it's very over the top, but it works in its favour. Would you agree, guys? I know T-Shizzle, you've seen it.
yeah, I agree, to be honest. So, really, really good.
Cool. And have you seen it, Andy? I think
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
seen it.
it's just over the top hilariousness. It's this decade's Wolf of Wall Street. It's just
That good.
yeah, it's so entertaining.
Brilliant. And you, Scott? I know you've seen it as well.
I have, yeah, and I completely agree with what Andy and Mike just said. It's really mental and over the top, and it's just a lot of fun.
Awesome. And have you seen it, Mike Axman?
Yeah, and yeah, I just agree with everyone else. It's very crazy, over the top movie.
Awesome. And you haven't seen it, Danielle? Nope. No, I'm not alone here, and I haven't seen it either. Josh says I ruined the Friday stream. Whoops.
No, you didn't. You did mess up, but you didn't ruin it. You did.
Next up, we have Evander here from Slayer Reviews. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all okay. Just popped the eye to say hello. Hey, Evander. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hey.
Look forward to seeing you on Friday night on Scott's stream.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And he says Spidey is here. Thrip, thrip. Is that how it goes? We have James here saying, hi all, loving the stream. Was wondering if you could live in any film or TV universe, what would it be? That's a good one. Could I go in the new Star Wars trilogy and just decimate all the cast members so we don't have to have those films? So that's it. Can you just bring me in at the end of it? What is it now? Revenge of the Sith. That's it. No, it isn't. Revenge of the Sith. The Return of the Jedi. That's it. And then I can go in there, and then we don't have the final trilogy. Send me in as some sort of Death Troop or some sort of Dark Jedi, and I just go and obliterate them all, so we don't have 7, 8, and 9. There you go. Very, very extreme answer, isn't it? Andy?
Yeah, I'd have to pick a movie called Stay Tuned. It's a movie I absolutely adore. It's like this family get this remote control from like the devil, and like whenever they press it on the TV, they get zapped into the TV, but it's always like a devil version of that show. Like there's a bit in the show where the father gets zapped in. He's watching like Wayne's World, and he gets zapped into like Wayne's World, but Wayne and Garth are zombies. And I just absolutely love the movie. It's just amazing. Yeah, I'd probably say that. Give me that remote, and I'll just go anywhere. Like I just love that film.
That kind of reminds me of like a Treehouse of Terror episode of Simpsons where they get them funny batteries.
Yeah, it's just an amazing film. They end up like on this game show, and they just go from like they end up in like in a western, and then Wayne's World, and then it just goes on and on like that, and it's so much fun. I just love that movie.
Great pick there, Andy. Danielle, what about you?
I feel like I'd want to live in the Harry Potter series. Like, let me play Quidditch. Like, probably crap at it, but let me have a go.
Oh, very good pick there. I do agree with you about the Harry Potter world. That's a magical world to be in. What about you, Scott?
I'd have to probably go for Rocky franchise because those films get me really pumped and make me want to go training.
I can imagine Scott as like the boxing announcer. In the right corner, we've got Rocky, and in the left corner, we've got Clubber Lang, and Clubber Lang is one mean bastard.
Yeah.
I can imagine it now.
That'd be entertaining.
Certainly would be. What about you, T-Shizzle?
It'd be like something like Back to the Future. Yeah, travel back in time and all that.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. I like that. Yeah. And Mike Axman.
I'd probably just to say something like the Star Trek universe, just because their version of Earth just looks very, very nice, and I just love the fact that they have the ability to beam themselves wherever they want to go. So it's like, oh, I just want to go to Japan. Like, oh, instead of flying there, let's just beam myself over there right now. Just be very convenient.
Certainly sounds it. Save the 10-hour plane journey or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We've got Matt saying, this isn't a hard question. Is this the one about the Tarantino feet question? It probably is. Josh says, it is hard question in another sense.
I think that just answered your question.
Yeah. We were firing blanks on that one. Oh my God.
Oh, it's
Bubs just walked in as well. Every time you walk in at the most awkwardest of times. Talking about movies, honest. Rogue says there's an actual romantic drama called Come Back to Me. Okay. I'm not Googling that one up, but it sounds interesting. We got Tom180 here saying, hello, everyone. Hey, Tom. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for
Hello,
joining. Right. Jason's here, and he says, what do you think of the Michael Jackson biopic controversy? Should we make a movie celebrating someone who's been accused of paedophilia in the past? That is a very difficult question to say. I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, the movie experts who are making this film, I mean, it's the guy who did Training Day, obviously they must have done questionnaires about it and researched it to whether see if it's okay to pass. So I don't know. I can't say. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I haven't got a clue how to answer this. There is one documentary with like a biopic that does exist about Michael Jackson, but it was like a TV made for TV movie.
Yeah.
But it's like 4 hours long, and it was made in the 90s before all this sort of exploded, and it's a really, really good biopic. And I think if you want to see one about Michael Jackson, probably watch that. But yeah, I don't really want to touch this one with a barge pole, to be honest.
Yeah, I can get
just,
that.
I just don't know how to answer it.
Yeah, it's a hard question to talk about. Can you think about anything, Danielle?
It is really, really hard because his music is absolutely phenomenal, and it's such a shame that this has come to light. But yeah, it's so hard because I think taking away that side of things, it would be amazing to see someone, because I think I read somewhere that it's his nephew or something like that that's going to play him.
Yeah.
So it would potentially be amazing, but it's just so tricky with that because, yeah, I don't know, it's just such a difficult one, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, this is a really difficult question to answer, to be honest. I do agree with Danielle. His music was fantastic, and I did grow up listening to his music. There's a lot of songs that I still really like of his, but I'll probably have to check out the 90s biopic, to be fair, as Andy said that's quite good, so I'll give that a watch.
It's on YouTube, the whole thing.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
But it's I think it is like 4 hours long. But yeah.
No, sounds
I'll
good.
give that a watch.
T-Shizzle, what about you?
Same as Scott, really. I would have to check out the biopic first. Yeah. I think it'd be a good biopic movie, like if they made one. But
yeah, I can understand. And what about you, Mike Axman?
Yeah, I think kind of like what Danielle was saying. I think like it's a very difficult movie to make, just because obviously he was such a global superstar, and it's just a movie that's not going to please everyone because there's so many things that happened in his life. There's so much to cover, and obviously the movie just couldn't cover it all. And I just feel like it's a movie that's going to be under the microscope just because of everything that's gone on in his life. And yeah, I just think if they were to make it, it's either going to, I don't think people are going to agree on it. I think it's going to be a very contentious movie. But yeah, it's a difficult one.
Yep, absolutely agree with you there, Mike. Next up, and we've got Rock and Roll House saying, evening all, evening mate, hope you all are well. Right, we have True Action Star saying, does your relatives, partners and friends in real life share your passions for movies and physical media?
No.
No, not for you. That was quick. Andy, what about you?
The only person who does is Mike.
Yeah.
We like the first movie we ever talked about was Kindergarten Cop, and we've been friends 25 years now. So yeah, it's Mike's the only person in my life that sort of shares that passion.
What about you, Danielle?
Well, me and Scott are cousins, if anybody
Yeah.
doesn't know. So I'm very, very lucky. And also Stephen, who's in the comments, is our uncle. So we have a very tight-knit little family of films and things. So yeah, we're very lucky in that aspect.
Oh, that's great. And the same goes for you, Scott, don't it?
Yeah, basically.
The movie family. Very good.
Indeed, yeah.
And what about you, T-Shizzle?
Same with Axeman, no.
For me, probably my mum, but that's about it. My dad likes to say he watches films, but he falls asleep halfway through them, and he says, "Oh, it sounded all right, but I didn't see what happened." That's his review for the film. But yeah, probably not really. We've got True Action Star saying, "You guys looking forward to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?" Kinda, yeah. I'm intrigued. It looks awful. The masks look horrific, but I want to watch it for some reason. Andy?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. They do look like Bebop and Rocksteady, but yeah, I'm intrigued. Yeah, I do want to see it. Yeah.
Danielle?
I've got to watch it. I've got to know what the hype is. I have to watch it. It's one of those ones where I've got to know what's going on.
Scott?
Yeah, I'll watch it. It looks terrible, but I'm hoping it's going to be one of those films that's so bad that it's so entertaining at the same time. I love
Hopefully
those kind
so.
of films.
Apparently, the creator says we're going to do Bambi next. Like, why? Whatever they're going to do to Thumper, I dread. What about you, Mike Axeman?
Yeah, I mean, it looks terrible, but you never know. It could be one of those movies that looks terrible, but then it ends up getting like really good reviews. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. So I know my cousin come round at the weekend and I said, "Oh, you looking forward to that new Winnie the Pooh film?" They said, "That's just a joke." And I said, No, it's real. Look, it's supposed to." They said they couldn't believe that their words was, "I can't believe they gave that shite airtime." But yeah, it's happening. They couldn't believe it. I think it's out now in America and it's coming here next month, so not long to wait. Next up, we've got Sinjin saying, "I was watching the Drew Barrymore show the other day and was thinking if they ever was to do a Lisa Marie Presley, she would be perfect for the role." That's a very good idea. Yeah, Drew Barrymore's a very good actress. I didn't know she did a TV show.
It's really funny. She's really funny on it. She's a really good host.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out. Next up, we've got Alan Scouser here saying, "Hi guys, hope you're well." Hey Alan, hope you're doing well, mate. I have a good movie recommendations. Eyes Without a Face. Don't know if any of you have seen it, but I loved it. And a bad recommendation is Pray for the Devil. Awful exorcism film. Yeah, I've heard Pray for the Devil is pretty awful. That came out recently, but haven't heard of Eyes Without a Face. Have you seen those films, Andy?
I've seen Eyes Without a Face. It's a really creepy black and white film. Even if you just Google the images, it is quite creepy what you'll get. But yeah, it's a good movie.
Sounds good. You seen any, Danielle?
No, I've not heard of those.
Scott?
I haven't watched them, but Eyes Without a Face, is that a French horror movie? Is that the one?
Yeah.
I thought it was, yeah. That's a film that I've been meaning to check out for the longest time, so definitely we'll get around to watching that at some point. Pray for the Devil was a film that I was excited for seeing last year till I saw the reviews. So
Yeah. T-Shizzle, have you seen any of these films?
I've been after watching Pray for the Devil for a while, but I need to get around to that badly. I've not seen Eyes Without a Face, so I'll have to give that a watch sometime.
Yeah. And Mike Axeman, have you seen any of these?
Yeah, I've seen Eyes Without a Face. I was a little bit underwhelmed by it. It's very slow moving movie. I might just need to give it a rewatch though.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, we've got Matt here saying, "Rock and Roll Hal, what's up, buddy?" One Real Nerd saying hello to Alan. And St. John says, Scott, you need to watch Killer Clowns.
I do. Yeah, I really need to get on that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's creepy though, and one real nerd agrees. Rogue says I'd remake Little Caesar from the 30s, but make it more violent and more like the original novel. Yeah, that's a good idea. We've got Andy Like Stuff saying watched Brightburn for the first time over the weekend, and over the weekend, and it was. What are your thoughts on the film? And I also noticed James Gunn produced it. Isn't that supposed to be like the evil Superman sort of film? I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard some positive things. Seen it, Andy?
Yeah. It was. It's a really good premise, but I was kind of disappointed by it. Like I left the movie just thinking, I kind of forgot what happened in the movie soon after.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun premise.
Oh, that's good. You seen it, Danielle?
No, not seen this one, but I'm really sorry, guys, as well. I'm gonna have to leave you all.
No worries, Danielle. Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. It was so nice to talk to you all, and I will see you all later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, that was great to have Danielle on. If you haven't subscribed to her channel already, her link to her Instagram's all in the description down below. So, what about you, Scott?
Yeah, I've seen Bright Bun. Bright Bun. I mean,
Bright Bun.
But yeah, the premise is fantastic. I really like the premise of the film. I just think the actual film itself could have been executed a little bit better. I thought it was a little bit underwhelming at the end.
No worries. T-Shizzle, have you seen it?
No. I've heard of it, but I've heard it's got like a bit of like horror vibes in it. It's like a superhero film and that. So
yeah,
probably give it a watch at some point again. So
sounds good. And Mike Axman, have you seen it?
No, I've heard about it. I've heard some good things about it, but no, not seen it.
Ah, that's good. Next up, we've got Alan here, but The Wintry Witch was even worse than Prey for the Devil, and it even had a brief cameo by Dirty Den at the beginning. What was that all about? What, from EastEnders? Oh, wow. You've sold me now, Alan. You've sold me. It's got Dirty Den in it. Rock and Roll House says, hey Matt, I'm groovy. I see you got some nice pickups. Yeah, Matt's been picking up some really cool stuff over the week. Oh, what's his name? James Gunn brother wrote it. Maybe DC does have a good future. Hopefully so. Sinjin says, don't hold your breath for the Goonies remake. They have been trying to do it for the last 10 years and we're still waiting. I'm pretty certain they said Disney Plus is either doing like a TV show or remake over it, so I hope not, but you know what they're like. We've got Tim John Un Productions here saying, hey all, happy Wednesday. Hey Timmy, hope you're doing well, mate.
Hey, Tim.
And he says, looking forward to another fun live stream. Oh, thanks ever so much, mate. And it was great chatting to you last week. Traction Star says, me and the wife watched The Whale at the weekend. That was sad, but great. Oh, glad you enjoyed it. We've got Gareth here from Video Tasty saying, hey, y'all. Hey, Gareth.
Hey, Gareth.
Traction Star says, what's your thoughts on the Fantastic Beasts series? We hate them. The first one's good. The rest of them are a pile of boring shite. Andy?
Yeah, if you don't like the first one, don't bother with the rest. Yeah, they're just pale so poorly compared to the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah,
they
lack a lot of life in them.
Yeah, they're not fun. They're not fun films. They're not a good time when you sit and watch them. They're just confusing.
Yeah, the whole Fantastic Beasts element felt very tacked on, especially with the latest one, which was very political, which didn't feel Harry Potter at all.
No, they commit the sin of being boring as well.
Yeah. Scott?
still need to watch a single Harry Potter film all the way through.
You haven't seen a Harry Potter film?
Not all the way through, no.
Oh, wow. You're in for some fun films there, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
T-Shizzle, what about you?
I like the Harry Potter films, don't get me wrong, but Fantastic Beasts like never interested me at all. So
Yeah, definitely. The first one was fine, but the rest of them just got really boring. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Eddie Redmayne in the lead. Something about him as his character kind of winds me up. What about you, Mike Axman?
I tried watching the first one, but honestly, I just couldn't get through it. I just found it really boring, so I ended up switching it off. But like Andy says, if you don't like the first one, the rest of them aren't as good. So I can't imagine I'll be seeing the rest of them anytime soon.
I think the last one's performed so badly in the box office is that they've completely disowned the franchise now and not going to continue with it. Apparently, there's rumours they're going to remake the Harry Potter films again now, 1 to 8.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I hope they don't, because they're fine the way they are, and you're never going to get a cast so perfect like that again.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
It is. Brooke says, I have too many film ideas I would love to make, but I don't have the budget nor equipment to make them currently. I'm sure that you've got some fantastic ideas, Rogue, and hopefully in the future we'll see them come to life. It'd be great to see them on the big screen or the small screen. Josh says, why, hello, Mrs. Dales. Vengeance, Matt says, might be a wet over true action star house now.
Wow.
What's he saying? South Park. Bring a towel. Is it? Bring a towel. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring the towel.
Yeah. Josh says, I take pride in my letterbox reviews, but I keep getting made fun for what I write. You wrote some very good reviews. I know your I Want to Dance with Somebody's review. That was short and sweet, but very funny, and I liked it. You're a good reviewer, and you keep on doing what you're doing, Josh.
Definitely.
Rogue says, I've got a 3-hour-long biopic of Owain Gilner in my notebook. I haven't got a clue who that is. Anybody heard of him?
No.
Matt says here, Josh's reviews are great and intelligent. Absolutely.
yeah.
I agree there. Rogue says, and a 3-hour-long experimental movie about Sergei of Leningrad, which I would make in Russian and German. It would be similar to a Mongolian nativity and would follow a group of troops and families. Right. Basically, Leningrad would be like someone puts a few cameras around the city in the time of the battle. It would be my magnum opus. Sounds very impressive. You certainly know what you're doing there, Rogue. Josh says, what the fuck is Happy Valley? It's a TV show starring Sarah Lancashire. She was in Coronation Street. So I'll bring up Coronation Street tonight. But it's quite a good series, but not really into it. We've got True Action Star out saying, are you guys and girls into sports? I'm not into sports, but I know Andy is.
Yeah, I just follow football.
Yeah.
To be honest. And maybe the World Cup when it's on, and maybe the Olympics as well. But other than that, not much else.
Yeah. Scott?
Yeah, the main one I watch is football, but I do like to watch wrestling every now and then as well. When I used to like boxing quite a lot when I was younger as well.
Awesome. T-Shizzle?
Wrestling mainly, so big wrestling fan.
Nice. And Mike Axman?
I mean, if we're talking about playing sports, then no, definitely not. I am not fit and healthy in the slightest, but I do like to football.
Awesome. That's really good. I suppose I can't not have a sport, so my sport is Mario Kart, all Wii Sports. So there you go. That's a sport somewhere in it. We've got Alan here saying, what's your favourite Christopher Lee movie? I think the man is an absolute legend. He was, and I can remember the day when he passed away. I was at college and I said, oh, did you hear Christopher Lee passed away? And what shocked me is nobody in the class of 30 knew who he was.
Oh,
And that really, that got
that
me.
pissed me off, that.
That fucking did me and all. The man's whole career is incredible. He's been in so many stuff. Each decade, he's been in so many iconic films, even in the Star Wars ones and Lord of the Rings, Sleepy Hollow. For me, I'm probably will just have to say my favourite is the original Dracula. Those Dracula Hammer films, he made those films. He steals every scene. And the thing is, he doesn't even say a single word in half of them. His screen presence is second to none. So I'd say them. Andy?
I'll go with one that I know it's not the best of the franchise, but I think he's definitely a standout of the movie. And it was the first movie I think I ever saw him in, Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah. Scaramanga. Yeah. He's good in that. Scott?
I'll probably have to go with the original Dracula as well. I think that's a really great vampire film.
Great pick. T-Shizzle?
I liked him in Lord of the Rings and that. And he was in a Chuck Norris film as well. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Eye for an Eye. I think it was called Chuck Norris. I think he did really well in that one as the villain.
Oh,
yeah.
Chuck Norris and Christopher Lee in a film. Sign me up. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Mike Axman, what about you?
So he's done so many movies, and I'm just trying to think of some, but the only ones that really come to mind are the Lord of the Rings movies. I just love those movies, and I know he's not like a big part of them, but he's still really great in them nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's been in so many great films over the years. Marvel fan says, hey guys, what's your thoughts on Fawlty Towers being rebooted? Yeah, we were talking about this one before. We'd rather they don't. I think they're better how they were. Don't you agree?
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry about this. Oh, what? You're now off to bed? All right, night. Take care.
I'll be back in a minute. Just got to do something quickly.
No worries, Scott. I nearly said Josh, sorry. Right. We've got Josh here saying True Action Star Vidal, Jesus Christ. What? True Action Star Vidal says, what is Playtendoguy playing this week? The wife says she wish it was her.
Oh,
it was just your reaction, Pete. Your reaction was hilarious.
Oh, God. Sorry. I don't know what to say to that. Unfortunately for Playtendoguy, unfortunately for True Action Star's wife, I was playing the Evil Dead game this week, and I've also been playing Saints Row, so I'm sorry about that, Action Star's wife. No wonder Josh was saying, Jesus Christ. Rogue says, Josh, Pete be a dirty birdie sometimes. I've been pretty sweet and innocent all night. True Action Star says, do you guys and girls like the DC animated films? I think they're pretty good. I don't mind them. I haven't seen them all, but there's been some very good ones out there. Andy?
Yes, some of them are better than the live action ones. Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 are great. Under the Red Hood's great. I know Killing Joke wasn't the best, but that's got some really creepy stuff in it.
Yeah.
And my favorite Batman film of all time is Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah. Oh, he's come back. You just
Yeah.
missed a good one.
What have I missed?
Fucking hell. I'll let you read it, Scott.
Is Playtendoguy playing this week? Fucking hell. Oh,
Oh god.
Oh dear. As Scott's gone. Oh, he's back. He's dried his eyes.
oh.
What do you think about this question? DC animated films, mate.
What, me? Or
Yeah.
oh, right. Sorry, I was put off by the last question. Well, not question, but comment. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, I haven't actually seen any DC animated films. I don't think so. Can't really comment, unfortunately.
No worries. T-Shizzle, have you seen any?
The only one I liked was the Batman one, the animated series, the original one. That was the only one I liked, really, to be honest.
That was a classic.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yep. Mike Axman?
Yeah, there's still a lot I need to see, but my favorite one is probably same as Andy, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah, it's definitely better than some of the live action Batman movies.
Awesome. Josh says it'll be Lethal Weapon, the weapon being their Zimmer frames. Yep. Traction Star says Hereditary or Midsummer. Midsummer for me. I didn't thought Hereditary was scary. I was like, this is quite pleasant. Andy?
You sure you watched it, Pete?
No, I sat and watched it. I sat in the dark. I thought I'd give it a watch. I was like, nah, this is no different to CBeebies and their story time.
Wow.
Honestly. It didn't affect me at all.
CBeebies.
Nah, I'm not convinced you watched it, Pete.
No, I'm not.
If you're comparing Hereditary to CBeebies, you didn't watch Hereditary.
I honestly didn't thought it was that bad. I was expecting it to be pretty bad. I was like, no, this is all right. This is pretty pleasant. And I went to bed soundly asleep that night. Midsummer was pretty fucked up, but Hereditary weren't too bad, I thought.
I've never heard anyone say they watched Hereditary and thought it was pleasant.
Yeah, I compared it to CBeebies as well.
Yeah. I'm just picturing some parent with their kids switching CBeebies off and putting Hereditary on for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the same.
Oh, Pete, you're gonna start some kids now.
Oh.
I'd have to say, just give it to Hereditary. I liked both movies, but Hereditary was one that kept me up at night. That
Okay.
everything in my bedroom turned into Tony Collette in that movie at the end.
Scott?
Yeah, well, I'd have to go for Hereditary. I think that's a fantastic horror film, and in all honesty, I really don't like Midsummer, so it has to be Hereditary.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Toni Collette, she did an incredible job there. She was very well in that film. I know she said after doing it, that's her last ever horror film she's going to do because it really took it out on her, apparently, in an interview I watched. Easily see why. What about you? What about you, T-Shizzle?
Go with Hereditary again. I thought it was okay, but I thought perhaps a bit boring. But good film, more like I've not seen Midsummer yet, but that's on my list though.
No worries. Mike Axman?
I love them both, but I'm probably leaning just a little bit more into Midsummer. I really loved that movie when I saw it for the first time.
That's cool. And the whole being set in the day thing, that was a unique experience for a horror film.
Yeah.
Marvel fan says, are you going to get the 100th anniversary 4K box sets from Warner Brothers? No, I think they're way too overpriced. I'll just get this release of Cool Hand Luke and Rebel Without the Cause when they come out separately. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, probably just pass on that one.
Scott?
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that as well.
Yeah. T-Shizzle?
No. I seen the price of it on Zabby. I was like, not a chance.
And Mike Axman?
No, I'd probably just buy the movies that I want separately on 4K, and you just know as well that this will be the first of many box sets, and if you buy the first one, you'll just end up wanting the rest of them, and yeah, it'll just be too expensive.
Yeah. I know, like, in the modern day era of the box set, Elvis is one of the films you get on 4K. Most of the modern ones are already available on 4K, and you can get them for like a tenner a go. So it is quite expensive at 300 quid.
Is that how much it is? Wow.
Yeah. Or they do like separate ones for 50 quid, but you only get about 4 films. Where in the £300 set, you get 30 films. One Real Nerd said, did you know that Hugh Jackman read some 3 dozen books on P.T. Barnum to prepare for the role of the Greatest Showman? Do you like or dislike this film musical? I know he did a lot of research in it. I haven't seen the film myself, but I've heard the soundtrack. The soundtrack was everywhere. It's not too bad. Have you seen it, Andy?
Yes, I thought it was good. I remember when it came out, everyone was like, "This is like the best film ever." Like when it came out, and I watched it and I was like, yeah, "It's good, but it's not amazing." Like, you know, it's just it's entertaining. It's a good, you know, however long it is. If you want something to pass the time, it's an entertaining film. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, but I do think it was a little bit overhyped at the time, though. But I still had a fantastic time with it, nonetheless.
Yeah, it kind of came to me at like very similar to Frozen, I thought. Like that was most hyped about and the music was everywhere. When I got to Frozen, I wasn't too keen on it. Have you seen it, T-Shizzle? Great Showman?
I've not seen it, but I've heard the soundtrack of it.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of musicals, but it's like it just depends which one. It's like I don't mind like Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So like my 2 favorite musicals, if you had to choose.
Yeah, I get that. Mike's gone away for a sec. Josh says, I'm seeing Marshall next week. As well, it was my second favourite film of 2022 as it was so mature for its age and it hit close to home. I was in tears by the end. Yeah, Andy said it's quite an emotional film. So, yeah, I look forward to giving it a go. I've heard it's in like some nominations for Best Animated Film, so it must be good. I think it's not very long as well. It's only like about an hour and a half. True Action Star says, which Halloween film had the best Michael Myers? That is a very good question. That is a good question. I'll probably say the original one because I've only seen that in the reboot trilogy. The original, iconic. What more can I say? What about you, Mike Axman?
Yeah, definitely the original. Just because it's the original. Yeah, for me, it's definitely the best one.
Scott, what about you?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be the original for me as well. I've only seen the first 2, so I don't have a lot to choose from. But I think the first one is definitely my favourite Michael Myers.
Oh, awesome. T-Shizzle?
Yeah, the original. I know the stuntman from the original who did the balcony scene. He was at the horror convention last year, and Evander Slayer Reviews met him. So
Did he?
it was really good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Has he got a
Jim
photograph of him? Has Evander got a photograph of him with him?
He did, yeah. He got a
Oh,
photograph, and I think he got an autograph as well, I think. So,
that's cool.
yeah, really good.
Nice.
Mm.
And what about you, Andy?
Yeah, it's going to be a coin toss, I think, for me between the first and the second, just for different reasons.
Yeah.
The first one's so iconic, but the second one gives you that proper violent Michael Myers. I think it just it's more of a fun slasher movie. The second one, and you just them really going for it, killing people. Yeah.
We have just a nobody here who I think is Rudy, and he says Marcel the Shell with Shoes On wasn't what I call that bad of a film. It actually was well made, but just not for me. No, that's fair enough, mate. We have the DVD and film bloke here saying, "Hey everyone, hey mate, hope you're doing well." He watched this week a little Scorsese and Herschel Gordon Lewis marathon, and they had pretty rocky starts. Josh says to Brody, "It is no Clerks after all." Andy says, "Out of all the America WWE wrestlers, who is your favorite? Who's moved to acting, and what film was it?" I do definitely think the best actor to come out of wrestling recently is Batista. He's done some great stuff. I liked him in the Bond film, Guardians, and all that. But was Roddy Piper a wrestler as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great in They Live and How Comes to Frogtown. But I'm not very good at wrestling, so I'm going to give it straight to T-Shizzle because he knows about wrestling.
Yeah, I'd gotta say The Rock, my favourite. So I think I remember the first film I bought was the Scorpion King, which I really enjoyed, and Walking Tall as well. He was in that one, which was like a remake from the 70s one. So I really enjoyed that one as well.
Great picks. Andy?
Does John Cena count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One movie I really enjoyed with him was Blockers.
That's a fun film.
I really had a fun time with that. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard that's good. Scott?
I might have to go with Roddy Piper because he was fantastic in They Live.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And Axeman Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Roddy Piper as well. And again, for They Live, like that fight scene between him and Keith David is just awesome.
Yeah, it goes on for ages, but it's like a wrestling match in the film.
Yeah.
It's quite funny as well, that fight scene.
Yeah, I remember watching it for the first time. I was like, when are you going to stop? He's like, "Carl, you've knocked each other about to bits, but they keep going, even though they're all bloody and bruised."
Yeah.
We have Traction Star here. Says, the wife asked me, did she miss out on the Playtendoguy 2023 calendar, and will there be one for 2024? They're out of print, and I'm not sure if the stockists will have any in next year, so I apologise. I don't know what to bloody say for that. We got Callie King here, 916, saying, "Hey everyone, hey, thanks for joining." My word, I can't get over that. DVD from Film Black says, for Scorsese, I saw Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which I can safely say is his worst film. Alan Burstyn was good, but the script was dull and overly miserable, and hated that brat of a child in it. Have any of you seen Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore?
No.
Yeah.
What did you think of it, Mike?
I thought it was okay. It's not one of Scorsese's best movies, but I didn't hate it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent.
That's good. And have you seen it, Andy?
I have, but I can't remember a single thing about it. other than that, it's a Scorsese film.
We have Edward here saying, what are MODs? Manufactured on-demand DVDs and Blu-rays? I ain't got a clue. Are they just like popular films?
I thought it stood for Match of the Day.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah. I haven't got a clue. The only thing I'd say is they're like evergreen titles that always sell, like Marvel films or something like that. I haven't got a clue. Anybody else got a clue?
No.
Not sure.
I thought it was Ministry of Defence for a minute when he said MOD. DVD and Film Bloke says, for some reason, some people consider Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore a comedy. I just want to say that in what universe? It's not even trying to be funny, and it wasn't even funny. He continues to say, hopefully Who's Knocking at My Door and After Hours are better. From what I understand, they have a lot of potential. I know After Hours is supposed to be really good, isn't it?
I love that film.
I've heard it's fantastic, yeah.
You seen it, Mike? Axeman?
Yeah, seen them both. Yeah.
What about you, T-Shizzle? Have you seen them too?
I've not seen. Does it ring a bell? Sorry.
No worries. DVD and Film Bloke says, as for Herschel Gordon Lewis, I saw Scum of the Earth, which I understand Lewis' intention as a criticism of the porn industry. It felt hypocritical because it was so exploitative. Also saw 2000 Maniacs from Herschel Gordon Lewis, which had its dull moments, but was far more entertaining. I've heard of that one, but I've seen neither of them. You guys seen any of them?
No.
No.
We've got Danny Jukes here saying, hey, how are you all doing? Hey, Danny, thanks for joining, mate. We've got DVD and Film Bloke saying, hopefully the other movies in that box set are better. Colour Me Blood Red, Something Weird, and A Taste of Blood show a lot of promise too. Oh, cool. We've got Marvel fan here saying, I'll watch Kick-Ass, Kick-Ass 2, Kingsman The Secret Service, Kingsman The Golden Circle. Back to back on Saturday, I will rewatch Kick-Ass 2 again for the film's 10th anniversary in August. Wow. Some pretty fun films there. Good selection. I like Kick-Ass. I wasn't a big fan of the sequel, but I do like all the Kingsman films. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I like the first Kick-Ass. The second one's okay. The first Kingsman's great. The second one's just okay. I didn't really like the third one. But yeah, I'm still waiting for that third Kick-Ass movie if they ever do one. But...
yeah, that'd be nice. I've been waiting long enough. Scott, what about you with these films? Seen any?
Yeah, well, I've seen all of them. When I was younger, when Kick-Ass 2 first came out, it was one of my favourite movies ever. But obviously, as I've gotten older, that's changed quite a bit since then. But it's still a good film. The first Kick-Ass, I think, is still really good. To be fair, I have a lot of fun with that one. Kingsman Secret Service is one of my favourite British movies in the last 10 years or so. I think that's a class film. And The Golden Circle, well, it's not great. I think it's a pretty fun film.
Cool. What about you, T-Shizzle? Have you seen any of these ones?
I've seen the first Kick-Ass and I've seen the first Kingsman as well. They're the only two I've seen.
Yep, that's cool.
Yeah.
And Mike Axeman.
I've actually only seen the first Kick-Ass movie, and I remember liking it, but yeah, not seen the rest.
Cool. Justin Overdy says, I wonder who's going to get excited about you talking about Clerks. Ooh, I wonder. It's you, Rody. Marvel fan says, I had to skip the strobe light scene in Kick-Ass. Yeah, I know for me, anything with strobe lighting in it really affects me. I have to close my eyes. I know in After Sun, there's a lot of like strobe lighting in it, and that's a pain. So I had to read up afterwards what was happening in those scenes because I couldn't see it because it was just kept flashing. It's a pain. It is these strobe lighting effects. We have True Action Star saying, have you guys checked out the Orphan films? I haven't seen either of them. I think there's two of them. You seen them, Andy?
I've only seen the first one. I do want to check the second one out, but yeah, I think the first one's competent movie, competent horror film. But yeah, do enjoy it, but it's not perfect.
Scott, have you seen him?
I haven't, no, but I've heard really good things about the first one, so I'm excited to check out at some point.
Nice. T-Shizzle, what about
I watched the first one a few years ago, but I need to rewatch it. Plus, I need to watch the second one as well.
Yeah.
So
Is that First Kill, and it's like a prequel, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Yeah.
And have you seen him, Mike Axman?
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. No, I've not seen the new one.
Cool. We've got DVD and Film Bloke saying, actually going back to the Scorsese stuff, the friend who screened ADLHAM screened a documentary from the Scorsese's called Italian American, which was great and really wholesome, unlike the film that came after it. Okay. We have Zoe Lee Smith here saying, what film do you used to like but now don't like anymore? Also, Michael, when are we going to start watching X-Files again?
That would be my girlfriend, Zoe.
Oh, hey Zoe, thanks for joining the stream. So, do you want to go first, Mike?
What film did you used to like but now don't like it? I might have to say The Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson. I enjoyed it at the cinema, but on rewatch, I didn't enjoy it as much. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I just didn't like it as much as when I saw it the first time.
Yeah, I can get that. Andy?
Probably Batman and Robin when that first came out. When that came out, that was like my favorite movie ever. Just loved it, but I love it now, but for different reasons. Yeah, I got to a point where I was just like, yeah, it's terrible. Like it's just an awful film, but now I'm entertained by it for all the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Scott?
I've got two choices for this one. First one would be Spy Kids 3. Every time I see that on a TV now, it just makes me cringe and I hate it. But I used to love it when I was a kid. And Lesbian Vampire Killers, for some reason, I used to like that. I don't know why, but yeah.
I can remember when that one came out. Wasn't there like an Ant and Dec one as well? They did like Alien Autopsy.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Oh, that was pretty bad. What about you, Mike? T-Shizzle, should I say?
There was one film I didn't like, but a few years later I fell in love with it, which was Halloween 3, Season the Witch.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that when I first watched it, because it obviously didn't have Michael Myers in it and all that. It's called Halloween. But when I watched it a few years later, I was just blown away by it. It was really good.
Yeah, that's good. I still need to see Season of the Witch. I've heard it's a really good film. I know Andy and Mike really enjoy that one, don't you?
Yeah. It was the first one I saw. Season of the
Really?
Witch. Yeah.
Oh. For me, a film that I watched that I used to like that I don't like anymore is probably that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake with Johnny Depp. Used to love that as a kid. Watched it last year. Yeah, it's not very good now. Johnny Depp's kind of creepy in that film, and the kids are annoying little shites in that as well. Rogue says we all know that Andy's favourite trilogy is secretly the John Waters trash trilogy, Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble, and Desperate Living.
Well, it can't be because I haven't seen Female Trouble.
Ooh.
Yeah.
DVD and Film Bloke says I might be going on about Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, but I hated the child in it. In fact, he ruined the movie for me. Would you say he ruined the movie for you, Mike? when you watched it?
I can't quite remember what he's like in the movie. I don't remember hating him. So no, I probably have to disagree with that.
He continues to say, normally I despise people who hit kids, but when Chris Christopherson slapped him, I went, good, since the kid was really pushing his luck. True Action Star says, what would be your ideal drink when watching a film? Okay. For me, a latte, some water, or just some like Ribena. Andy?
Yeah, just a can of pop or some squash. Really. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Scott?
Probably a can of Coke or something like that.
Nice. T-Shizzle?
Normally like a coffee or Monster Energy.
Nice. And Mike Axman?
Probably just Pepsi Max. I'm addicted to the stuff.
David Even Fumbler says, seriously, I put him in the same category as Buzz McAllister of fictional children I hate. David Even Filmblock says, True Action Star Bedels, Alice doesn't live here anymore. For every time the kid is the little shit, you'll be dead before the film is halfway through. Okay. Right. We have him also saying, the classics are ace. Liam said this while we were watching it, and I had to say it here because it's brilliant. Alan Burstyn took care of the demon child, and the other was Regan McNeil. I get it. Right, comments have gone a bit weird. Just got to wait for them to come up. Oh, we have Peter here from Standard Silence. Hope you're doing well, Peter. DVD from Film Bloke said to him, he says, A Taste of Blood is awesome. Also love the feverish dark jazz music in it. Nice. Right. Radley here, Radley Stark. Hi all, hope you're all well. Hey Radley, thanks for joining. I just watched We're All Going to the World's Fair. Highly rated by all accounts. My God, I nearly died of boredom. Anyone seen it? I know Josh has seen it. I'm not sure if he's a big fan of it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. Not in a rush to see it. You seen it, Andy?
No, can't say I have.
Scott?
No, I've heard of it, but haven't seen it yet.
T-Shizzle?
I've never heard of it, sorry.
And Mike Axman?
Nope, not heard of it.
DVD from Public says, actually, someone on the letterbox said the kids in Alice doesn't live here anymore. Grew up to be Joe Pesci's character from Goodfellas. Fitting since both were called Tommy.
God.
Oh, dear. True Action Star says, thoughts on The Last of Us episode 4? I thought it was much better. I haven't seen it yet. Unfortunately, I haven't got round to watching it. I haven't found a link to watch it yet. But I definitely want to watch it when I find a link of it. But we're getting episode 5 at the weekend, so you haven't got to wait for that on Sunday or Monday, True Action Star. Anybody else seen the series yet?
No.
I've seen the first episode, but I need to catch up on the other 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first episode. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it is a quality first episode, I think.
Yeah.
DVD from Film Bloke says to Peter, yeah, I'm getting to it in a few weeks. It should be fun. Fitting that pre-feature, I'll be screening a documentary from Herschel Lewis on how to carve meat. Why? A documentary on how to carve meat? I'm intrigued. We've got Steve071 here saying, hey everyone, what's your favourite Michael Bay film? Mine's The Rock. Great pick there. Ooh. I'm going to go with Ambulance. I really enjoyed that recent one. I thought it was probably a good return to form for him. Yeah, it was a little bit too long, but I had a blast with it. Andy?
I'm going to say the first Transformers film. I think that's a pretty decent movie. The first one.
Yeah.
The rest of them are garbage, but I think the first one is really cool. got some great action in it. But the best part about it is the bit with the Transformers. Like the human part of it, I couldn't give two shits about. I just want to see giant robots, kicking ass. That's the best part about it. But yeah, just really enjoy that film.
I agree there about that. That's the best of the series. Quality film. Scott?
I'd have to go with The Rock, to be fair. I thought that was an excellent action film, and Sean Connery in that film's fantastic. I'm not the biggest Michael Bay fan, but I do enjoy The Rock quite a lot.
It's a quality film. T-Shizzle, what about you?
Same as Scott, The Rock. One of my favourites. I love the soundtrack as well by Hans Zimmer in it.
Oh yeah,
Really good.
I agree there. Great soundtrack too. And Mike Axman.
Honestly, I don't really like any of his movies, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably just say the first Bad Boys movie.
That's a good pick there. Yeah, I do like that one. That's a lot of fun. We've got Traction Star saying nut ice cream Playtendoguy. Ew. Not a fan of nuts, but I hope you enjoy it. He also says, are you excited for Indiana Jones 5 and the Pension of Prophecy?
No.
Not really. I wasn't won over by the trailer. Honestly, think he is too old for the role. Kind of wish they just left it at Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If it wasn't for that ending, I think it was a pretty decent, fun film. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's just a perfect trilogy. It ends so well with the third one. We didn't need a fourth one, and I don't think we need a fifth one. But the trailer hasn't won me over at all with this new one.
Yeah, I agree. Scott, what about you?
I'm sort of in the middle of this one. I'm not too sure what to make of it, to be honest. I'll probably go and watch it, as I love the first three Indiana Jones films. Still need to see the fourth one, but I haven't heard the best things about it. But yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest.
No worries. T-Shizzle, what about you?
I can't get into him, sorry. I tried watching the first thing, but just can't get into it.
No worries.
Sorry.
No worries. I must admit, when I watched the first film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, when I was a kid, I struggled to get into it. It wasn't until watching the other two I really dug into the series.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike Axman?
I mean, I will go and see it because I'm just a huge fan of that franchise, but I don't know, I'm not expecting great things from it, but you never know.
Yeah, might surprise us because the director is very good. He's from the guy who directed Logan, so here's hoping.
Yeah.
Right, we've got Radley Stark saying the best possession film. That's not The Exorcist. I think the possession of Michael King is fantastic. I think the only ones I've probably seen is the Conjuring film, so I'd have to go with that. But I'm sure there's many other great ones out there. Andy?
For me, Jason Goes to Hell. That film's hysterical.
Yeah. Oh,
I really want to watch that film again, actually. I want to enjoy that film.
It's the funniest. It's the funniest shit you'll see. It's so, I don't know. I was so entertained by it on a rewatch.
Oh, that's good. I need to watch the rest of the Friday films. I've only seen the first two ones, so I need to get on and watch more of the box set. Scott, what about you?
I love the first Conjuring film. I think that's really good. But I'd have to say my favourite is probably Ghostwatch. I thought that was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that is a good one there. You've got a good pick there. What about you, T-Shizzle?
Mine's got to be Christine, John Carpenter. Which was that's one of my favourite John Carpenter films, that one. And I've heard they're doing it well.
They're doing a remake.
Yeah. Well, it's like a sequel, I think, like Christine 2 it's called. So.
Oh, wow. And what about you, Mike?
I'll probably just have to say the first Conjuring movie. Yeah, I thought that was a really, really solid horror movie. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Right, let's go on to here. We have Tim John and Productions saying, are you guys excited for Hayao Miyazaki's supposedly final film, How Do You Live? What are your thoughts on Miyazaki's movies in general? Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke are some of my favourite. I've only ever seen them two. Well, I have seen a couple of them. I think he did My Neighbor, Toronto as well, but Spirited Away is a great one, and Princess Mononoke is a solid film as well. But I think it's like Studio Ghibli, is it? Studio Ghibli, all those films, and their quality. Andy, what about you?
Yeah, I think that they're amazing animated movies, but I just find it really hard sometimes to get actually into the stories. Like the animation is flawless in most of those movies, but yeah, just some of the stories I just don't gel with. I just can't get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. Scott, what about you?
I think the only one I've actually seen is Spirited Away, but I thought that was a fantastic animated film. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Great pick there, Scott. T-Shizzle, what about you?
I've never heard of the film, sorry. No.
No worries. And Mike Axman?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with his newest film that comes out, but yeah, I've seen some of them. I think I'm kind of the same as Andy. Like, I like them for their animation, but I don't always get into the story as much. I kind of felt that with Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke. I don't know if he directed this movie, but there's one I really like called Grave of the Fireflies. I think that's probably my favorite Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, he done that one as well. That's a very powerful film.
Yeah.
We've got True Action Star saying, give me some of your best modern horror films of the last 10 years. Ooh, good question. I would say I really enjoyed Barbarian. I'd say that's a good shout. Last Night in Soho, though that's not technically a horror film. Phew, now I can't think. Call it Midsummer. There you go. That's another one. What about you, Andy?
X and Pearl.
Very good.
When I went to see Knock at the Cabin, there was actually a trailer for Pearl that it was coming out. So bit late now though, but yeah. I really enjoyed those movies.
Oh, that's a good one. I bet there's people sitting there like, oh, that looks good, and Andy sitting there like, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
What about you, Scott?
Yeah, there is quite a few good horror films that come out last 10 years. I really like the Evil Dead remake. I thought that was really good. The first Conjuring's fantastic. X and Pearl were some of my favourites as well. And also the two Terrifier films, I love those.
Great picks there. Definitely agree there. What about you, T-Shizzle?
It's got to be, at the moment, it's got to be X and Terrifier 2.
Oh, yeah. Terrifier 2, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice. And Axman, what about you?
Yeah, I'm really struggling to think of some off the top of my head, so I'm just going to have to say the ones we've mentioned, like Hereditary and Midsummer and X, Pearl, Terrifier, all of those. Yeah.
Nice picks.
Smile as well.
Oh, I need to see that one.
I still need to watch that as well.
We got Edward saying which film had the worst CGI. The second Mummy film, Dwayne Johnson with the Scorpion King. Oh, that was bad back in the day, and it's awful now. Also, Thor: Love and Thunder had some dreadful CGI, really bad. I know a lot of the recent Marvel films have. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, there's a lot of movies from the 90s that were trying out CGI, but I can't really hold it against them because the technology was still in its infancy. But there are some that do look a bit ropey by today's standards. Lost in Space is one. Like the CGI, that's not great. Mortal Kombat, as much as I love that film, the lizard in it is god awful. No need to break out in song, Scott. But yeah, probably just some of those. Scorpion, the Mummy Returns as well. Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Scott, what about you?
Yeah, the first thing that came into my mind was Mortal Kombat. I love the film, but the CGI in it's not great.
Yeah, I agree. T-Shizzle, what about you?
It's a tricky one for me, that one, to be honest.
Yeah. No worries. And Mike Axman.
There's a TV movie that came out in the 90s based on a Stephen King novel called The Langoliers, and it's actually a really good movie up until the Langoliers, which are like the monsters of the movie, up until they appear. And when they appear, they look absolutely dreadful. Like it just completely takes you out of the movie. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, just like YouTube it, 'cause it's some of the worst CGI ever.
I have seen it. Yeah, it is real bad. I do agree. We've got Edward saying he's going to see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania next Friday. I know, Andy, you've got your ticket booked, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. I'll probably wait till Disney Plus. Scott?
Yeah, I'll probably wait until it comes out on physical media.
Nice. T-Shizzle?
No, not for me. Sorry, no. I'm more of a DC fan.
No worries. And Axman?
Yeah, I'll just wait until it comes out on physical.
We have Rosso Small Films here saying, "Evening, lads. What are your favourite Coen Brothers films?" Very good question. Do you want to go first, Andy?
Yeah, there's two for me I absolutely love, and it's The Big Lebowski and Barton Fink. I just love those two movies.
Very nice picks there. Scott, what about you?
Did they do Fargo?
Yeah.
That would probably be my favourite one. And Big Lebowski is fantastic as well. I love that film.
Nice. I still need to see that one. I agree with you about Fargo. The TV series was great in that as well. I think the Coen brothers had something to do with the TV series as well.
I've heard that's fantastic, to be fair.
It is.
Yeah.
T-Shizzle, what about you?
Same as Scott for Fargo. Really good, that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Mike Axman.
Yeah, it's probably Barton Fink for me as well. But I also really love Raising Arizona. I remember that was a movie that the first time I saw it, I never really liked it, but when I rewatched it, I just loved it.
Great picks. For me, I'm looking at their filmography now, and I'll probably say Burn After Reading or True Grit for me. I think they're both great films, but they've done quite a few. Inside Llewellyn Bowen, that was a quality film with, I think it's what's his name, who plays Poe in Star Wars.
Llewellyn Bowen.
Inside Llewellyn. Inside Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Never change, Pete, please.
Yeah. Do my best.
Inside Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Edward says, "Do we really need a sequel to The Grinch? What's your thoughts on it that Jim Carrey's The Grinch is getting a sequel?" Yeah, I saw something today about that. That's quite kind of shocking. I mean, like, it's 23 years since the original happened. Do we really need it? I mean, I really do enjoy the film, but I think it's fine the way it is. I'm surprised we haven't had a sequel to the animated one, considering how popular that was. I thought that was going to be it for what they were talking about, but no. If it happens, it happens. Kind of wish it doesn't, but I'm not that fussed. Anyway, I thought Jim Carrey's supposed to have left acting because he's supposed to have retired. But Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't got a clue on this one. I don't really know what else they can do. The first movie wraps everything up nicely.
I agree. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I'm really not sure, to be honest, but I do like the first film.
T-Shizzle?
I just should keep it where it is. Yeah, I was quite happy with the original, so
Yeah, I agree. And Mike Axman, what about you?
Yeah, same really. I mean, the first movie just it said everything it needed to say. I don't really see what a sequel can add to that really.
Yeah, it is very odd because it followed the book and it's told a well-rounded story, so there's no need for another one, especially like 23 years afterwards. Edward says, who is your favourite Doctor Who companion? It's very easy. It's Karen Gillan, of course, for reasons. Also, she's a very good companion. Andy?
Yeah, I might have to say Karen Gillan as well. Yeah.
Scott, what about you?
I don't like Doctor Who, to be honest. I've never watched anything that's Doctor Who related, so I can't really say.
No worries, mate. I know Mike Axman hasn't seen an episode of Doctor Who. What about you, T-Shizzle?
I haven't. Sorry, no.
No worries. We've got Traction Star the Dow says Playtendoguy is high tonight. Love it. I'm not high tonight. I'm certainly not. We've got Russell Smile Film saying, what's your favourite Coen Brothers film? Yeah, we did answer that earlier, mate. Sinjin says, stay tuned. That was with John Ritter and the woman from Mork and Mindy. I remember enjoying that one, Andy. It's a good film.
It's really underrated. I just love it. It's so much fun. That movie.
I'll definitely have to check this film out.
Yeah.
That's another one for the watch list. Rosso Smile Film says, thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Franchise returning to the leads are on board to come back. Coming off the attempts of Halloween, of course. Yeah, we talked about this earlier on in the night, so if you go back about an hour or so, we were talking about it. Sounds like an interesting prospect. We're not desperate to see it, but it's cool, it's happening. We also have Rosso Smile Film saying, Faulty Towers returning. John Cleese and his daughter wrote in the script. Are you excited? Are you fans of Monty Python? Again, we talked about this earlier. We're not very excited for it to return, but for Monty Python, I don't mind it. I prefer the films to the series. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I really like them. I like the series. I like the movies. I do probably get more of a kick out of the movies. But yeah, I enjoy them.
Nice. Scott?
Yeah, I've only seen Holy Grail and Life of Brian, but I thought they were excellent. Really enjoyed them.
Nice. You seen any T-Shizzle?
Yeah, I've seen like Life of Brian and all that, but I need to rewatch them again. I've not seen them for years.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
And Mike Axman, what about you?
Yeah, I like the series. I like the movies, but I probably lean more towards the movies.
Yeah. This is a good question from Traction Star. If you could change one thing about H&V, what would it be? More movies and some video games. Andy?
Yeah, I'm the same. More movies.
Yeah,
and I want more stores back as well. But it's not going to happen.
That's the main thing. More stores. Yeah. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, same as you two. I'd have more stores, as I don't actually have a local HMV near me, which is kind of sad. So I can't actually go to one, which really upsets me. But hopefully they'll be another one that opens in the future.
Hopefully so, because I know they keep saying they're supposed to be opening more up in the coming years, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, T-Shizzle?
Yeah, same. More movies, and I think they should do like more merchandise as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, good pick. What about you, Mike Axeman?
Yeah, I'd probably just say more movies, more boutique stuff, and just better prices as well.
Yeah, I agree with better prices. Steve-O says hi all in the chat. That is Steve-O. DVD and Film Bloke says, yeah, I don't think it would work, especially since John Cleese has become a raging right-wing lunatic. Matt says, T-Shizzle, are we not family then?
What does he mean by that?
We have Zoe here saying, you don't have a partner who shares the same passions in films as you? Well, excuse you, Michael.
Gonna have to apologise for that.
We have Andy here saying, will you guys be checking out the Super Bowl? I've heard a lot of trailers are coming out, including the new Flash film. Don't watch the Super Bowl, but I do check out the ads, like for trailers of films and that. What about you, Andy?
No, but my phone the next morning will probably be bombarded with all the new trailers that have come out, so it's going to be impossible for me to miss them.
Yeah. Scott?
No, I don't watch Super Bowl, but I'm sure I'll see him somehow.
Yeah. T-Shizzle?
Yeah, I normally watch the Super Bowl every year. I like watching the halftime show and all that. All the movie trailers and all that stuff. What's coming out?
It's a very big event in America, isn't it? Like every year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And what about you, Mike Axeman?
Yeah, I'll probably just check out all the trailers. The following day.
Cool. We've got Matt here saying, I know, Zoe, I'm feeling left out as well. We have True Action Star saying, what is Mel Gibson's thoughts on the professional set you showed off? Really want to get that. Well, I'm actually filming a review for that, True Action Star, so I'll leave my thoughts to the review. It should be up either tomorrow or Friday. Rosso says to DVD and Film Bloke, you're writing it off early. Do you ever rewatch their work from the 70s? Tremendous fun. Zoe says, Vengeance Media. I'm his girlfriend. We little bonded on movies. Haha. Clearly he's forgotten.
I haven't forgotten.
Matt says, Zoe, you should tell Mike to sleep at Andy's tonight. So Zoe says, I'm changing the locks. Right, Andy Like Stuff says, both my brothers and me collect physical media, so my other brother is so crazy he buys films online, and in physical, he's also got duplicates of DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, and box sets. Wow. Yeah, I do eventually get duplicates and doubled it. I think it's just a way of collecting. If you want to get a film, you probably already have it in a box set or something. It's just part and parcel. We have DVD and Film Bloke saying, wait a minute. He says, it could be good, but I doubt it. The 70s Faulty Towers is great. I'm talking about John Cleese these days. He was actually decent back then. In fact, he hasn't been funny since A Fish Called Wanda. Oh, what a film.
I think he's funny in Rat Race.
Yeah, Rat Race is pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah.
We've got Dawn of the Discoholic 66 saying, hey there, great stream. Everything. And what would you all regard as Sylvester Stallone's worst movie? Ooh. suppose it would either be Oscar. Is it Oscar or Stop or My Mum Will Shoot? That'd be either one of them two.
Yeah, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot is pretty bad.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the comedic timing such as Arnie has. I just find Stallone's much more better with the serious movies.
Yeah.
What about you, Scott?
I'd have to go with the Lords of Flatbush and Paradise Alley. I thought those two films were really boring. I found them a struggle to get through.
Yeah, I think Paradise Alley, isn't that's the one with like him on the front cover with like a leather jacket and a hat on? It's like 101 release. Yeah.
He sings a song in that film as well, so there's that.
Oh, yeah. And Lords of Flatbush, that's the one where he looks like the Fonz with the Fonz.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, T-Shizzle?
I don't know. It's a tricky one for that one. I'd say Rocky 5.
Yeah.
That one puts me off. It's of all the Rockies.
Yeah, that one's probably the weakest of them all. I definitely agree. Mike Axman, what about you?
There's a couple for me. There's a movie he did called Oscar. That's like another movie where it's like him trying to be comedic, and it didn't really work for me. And the other one is a movie called The Specialist with him and Sharon Stone. I just thought that movie was really underwhelming. Like I was expecting a lot better from it.
Yeah. Another one I can think of is his remake of Get Carter. That's pretty bad as well.
Yeah.
Still haven't watched that, to be honest.
Don't watch the original.
Yeah.
Russell Small Film says, you could be right, unfortunately. How much can one realistically get away with on telly nowadays? As strange as episodes have been removed from various old school shows, new sketches could be tame. Yeah. Because like Faulty Towers now, like on BBC iPlayer or on TV is cut to bits. So the only way you can watch it how that was originally shown is on physical. And that's why you can't beat physical. Once you've got it, they can't cut it. DVD Even Film Bloke says it's not really that. The original Faulty Towers, well, the German episodes, are ahead of their time given the amount of raging xenophobes there are these days. Russell Smile Films says Rupert Grint recently speculated the Potter franchises could be rebooted. There's no doubt in my mind it will happen. I hope it never does. I just think it's perfect the way it is, and if they do remake it, whether it's 10, 20, 30 years down the line, I'll always be compared to that original series of films, and it's just lightning in a bottle at that time, with all those actors still about. You're never going to get it, I don't think. DVD and Bumloke says, but John Cleese's style of writing and his personal politics have gone down the toilet. True Action Star says, do you think Pixar's lost its mojo? Kinda. I think they have two teams. I think they have the A team and the B team. You have your A team that gives you stuff like Inside Out, Up, even Turning Red. That weren't too bad. And then you'll have your B team that gives you Cars 2, Lost Dinosaur, and a fucking what's the other one last year? Lightyear. That have all been rather forgettable. So I don't think they're as good as they used to be, but they still have sparks of talent there. What about you, Andy?
Fucking hell, Pete. I think Cars 2 was brought to us by the fucking Z team. Yeah, no, I think yes, they have lost the mojo. There's in their catalogue, there are movies that are just epitomise greatness.
Yeah.
And then I don't think any of their movies are particularly bad, but Cars 2 is Pixar at its worst. But you can still watch Cars 2. It's not unwatchable. It's just it can drag and it's a little bit annoying, but it's not unwatchable. It's not the worst thing ever. But yeah, some movies are definitely better than others. But I think of recent, they've just not given us anything as good as like Toy Story or Ratatouille or Monsters Inc. You know.
Yeah, I agree there. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, I think they've lost it a little bit. I don't think they're as good as they used to be. There's some great films in Pixar franchise that I absolutely love, such as Toy Story, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, stuff like that. There's still some really good films that come out recently, like Coco. I thought was excellent, but I just feel like recently there's some like really forgettable films from them. But yeah, they're still decent.
Oh, that's good. What about you, T-Shizzle?
Same as Scott, really. Agree with what he said, to be honest. Yeah.
Cool. And what about you, Mike Axman?
I don't think I can really comment because I've not seen enough of like the newer stuff that's been released like within the last 20 years. So I can't really comment, to be honest.
No worries. Right. Next up, we have Zoe, and she says, when her comment loads up, Harry Potter films are pretty true to the books up to 4, but then I feel like if you haven't read the books, they get more confusing. They should have been maybe 2-parters from then on. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially with the Half-Blood Prince. That was messed up, that film was, compared to the book.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have DVD and Film Black saying, really, the only decent comedies I think of the last few years are Brian, Pern, Mandy, and Inside Number 9, but sadly, crap like Mrs. Brown's Boys is constantly commissioned. Well, actually, Inside Number 9 DVD and Film Bloke has had like 10 series, and it is consistently very good, and I'm pretty certain they've renewed it for another one. That's one thing.
Guys, I'm going to have to shoot off now, sorry.
No worries, mate. Thanks for joining, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll see you again, all right.
Take care.
See you, Mike.
Yeah, bye.
See you, Mike.
Bye. And then there was 4. Right. DVD and Film Bloke says, Attraction Star, I've not seen a Pixar movie in years, but I think so. I mean, they keep going to the, well, who asked for Cars 3 and Toy Story 4? There are talks about Toy Story 5 now. The one of the heads at Pixar said, yeah, we might actually do a Toy Story 5. Please don't.
I'll be back in a minute. Just got to go to the toilet quickly, if that's all right.
No worries, Scott. DVD and Film Bloke says Life of Rock with Brian Penn to give the series its full title. Motherland, Dead Pixels, number 9, get some good laughs. Cheers for the recommendation. Not heard of Life of Rock, I'll look it up. Comments have gone weird. David says, Brightburn, very good movie. That's good to hear. Rosso says, oh, Brian Penn is outstanding. Zoe says, I feel like if John Cleese acted as erratically as he did in 40 Towers in this reboot, he might run the risk of a heart attack now and a broken hip. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm sure he's like 81 or something like that. He's getting well on now, so it's not safe for him to do that. Marvel fan says, DVD and Film Bloke, Mrs. Brown's Boys is crap. I still confused why they still make new episodes. Many of the viewers are literally begging to get it cancelled. It was funny back then, but now it's like crap. I didn't mind it when it first come on, but it's worn its jokes well thin now. It's so unfunny. The Christmas and New Year specials were dreadful this year. Have you guys ever seen Mrs. Brown's Boys?
No.
No.
For me.
Oh, I envy you so. Have you ever checked out the movie?
No.
No, can't say that I have.
Oh, what a biggest pile of crap I've ever seen, I tell you. We got Edward saying, which is better, DC or Marvel? Don't know. They've both got their pros and cons, I say. I like them both. Andy?
Yeah, I'm the same as you, Pete. Like them both for different reasons.
Yep.
DC's got the better characters, but Marvel's got the better movies at the minute. With the whole universe building thing, Marvel had that down to a point. But yeah, DC have got some great standalone movies from the late 80s, early 90s with the Batman stuff.
I absolutely agree there. Scott, what's the better for you, DC or Marvel?
I think that Marvel have done better at creating a universe than DC, but I think there's some fantastic DC films out there still.
Yep.
Some of the Batman films are excellent, and there's some other really good ones in there as well.
Yeah, I agree there. And what about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think they've probably got the more memorable superheroes for me. I feel like they've got a lot more. But DC, like, they've got my two favorite superheroes of all time with Batman and the Superman. So yeah, I'd probably have to say DC.
Cool. Just had to go and get the phone charger from in the room. I probably should actually bring it with me in future, but I never do. Silly me. Right. We are all plugged in and we are ready to go. Right. We've got DVD and film book to Marvel fan. Yeah, it's recycled jokes which weren't even funny to begin with. I know. Every Christmas there's like a Christmas tree joke that's not funny at all. It's all the same old stuff every single episode. Nothing new. Marvel fan says, I heard BBC has commissioned Mrs. Brown's Boys for a 4th season. Yeah, the 3rd season was like 10 years ago. All it's been is specials since. I know there was like a Mrs. Brown's Boys chat show, which was like Graham Norton, but with Mrs. Brown. All round to Mrs. Brown's, I think it was. And there was even like a cookery show with Mrs. Brown's. Yeah. Traction Star says, who are some of your favourite comedians? Don't really know, to be honest. Don't really watch that much comedy now. Andy, you got any recommendations?
Probably maybe Lee Evans and controversially Roy Chubby Brown.
Ooh. Good picks there. Scott?
I really like Richard Pryor. I thought he was really a great comedian back in the day, and yeah, Boy Chubby Brown for me as well.
Yeah, good pick there. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to say Richard Pryor as well. I thought he was hilarious. Yeah, back in the day, like in his peak years, yeah, he was just untouchable.
I
Definitely.
agree, it was very funny back in the day. As for modern day comedians, there aren't really many that are funny. We've got Traction Star saying, what's your favourite Pete Postlethwaite role? Ooh. He was in Brastoff, weren't he? He was good in that one, I thought. He was fucking terrifying in that film with Ben Affleck. Is it The Town?
He's just pruning flowers, and he's the scariest bastard.
Yeah,
you've ever seen.
Very good actor.
Yeah.
Got any more, Andy?
Lost World. I have fun with him in that film. I think he's great. Dragonheart. And I really like him in James and the Giant Peach as well.
Oh, yeah, he's in that. I keep forgetting he's in that one. He's been in many good roles over the years. Scott, what about you?
I was just quickly looking through his filmography because I couldn't remember him by the name, but I do recognise him now, and the film that I really love that he's in is In the Name of the Father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Daniel
Very good pick. Yeah. That's a good pick there. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say In the Name of the Father as well. It's a great movie.
Great picks. Marvel fan says this news was announced last year for, if not all, I believe to be correct, a new series of All Rounds to Mrs. Brown's this year. Last time I heard this, the spin-off was cancelled. Just cancel it all. It's not funny anymore. We have Gary here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Gary. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for joining. We have DVD from Film Bloke saying hey to Gary. True Action Star says, who is on the stream next week, Playtendoguy? I normally say it at the end of the stream, but I'll let everybody know. Next week we have Nige Rock God in joining us, as well as Mike from DigiZ that. So another packed house next week. So another fun stream to look forward to.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be laughing all the way through the night with Nige joining us.
Oh yes, definitely.
Right, we have Marvel fans saying DVD from Film Bloke. Comments are taking ages. Oh, it's on about Mrs. Brown's Boys being cancelled because of COVID-19, but this was in 2021. They might have scrapped the spin-off series for good. I hope they did. Yeah. Sinjin says Walking Tall is my favourite rock movie. That's a very good film. Yeah, I do like that one. DVD from Film Bloke says possibly the only good thing to come from COVID. David says, what are your favourite Bruce Lee movies? July 20th is his 50 years anniversary since he died. His movies will live forever, and he was a very good actor. He will live forever. The only film I think I've seen of his is Enter the Dragon, and it's a great film. I haven't seen it in years, but I'm really looking forward to this 4K release later this year. Day one pickup. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I think mine would probably have to be Enter the Dragon as well. I've got some of his stuff on VHS, but I haven't up. That was the last time I saw those movies, like Game of Death, Big Boss, Fist of Fury, all that stuff. I need to update it desperately, but because I haven't seen it back since the VHS days. But yeah, the one that sticks out to me is Enter the Dragon.
Classic film. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, Enter the Dragon is definitely his best for me. I grew up watching that film a lot when I was a kid, especially the fight scenes. Some of the fight scenes in that film were really awesome. But I actually really liked watching The Way of the Dragon when I was a kid as well. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, that's good. I haven't seen that one. I really want to watch some of his other films. Probably see if I can find a Blu-ray box set of them about. And what about you, Mike?
Yeah, like some of his Hong Kong stuff's pretty good. Like I think Fist of Fury is great. Yeah, and The Way of the Dragon. I think that's the one where he fights Chuck Norris in the end. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. But I do think his best movie is still Enter the Dragon. Yeah, it's a classic.
We've got Gary saying Game of Death is my favourite Bruce Lee movie, even though he in the entire movie. Marvel fans says, personally, I think they need to cut down physical media for Mrs. Brown's Boys. I mean, 2 episodes per disc. They're constantly re-releasing a DVD box set. Yeah, when it comes to Christmas, you can always guarantee a Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas special box set coming out with another load of same old crap. It's not worth it. Rogue says, Pete, did you get any of the Switch games in Tesco clearance? I got Super Mario 3D World and Animal Crossing's New Horizons. Great pickups there, Rogue. 2 classic games. I did know about the sale, but unfortunately, Rogue, I've got them all. The only one that I haven't got is probably the Mario football game, but I'm not too fussed about that one because it wasn't much in it. But yeah, you got yourself some very good bargains with those games. There's a couple of Pokemon ones there that are also on offer, Rogue, so I'd recommend giving them a shot. And if you haven't got a Switch OLED, it's going for £100. They're normally 300, so if you'd like an OLED, best time to get one.
That's a great deal, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. They're just clearing them out to get rid of them. And also, if you're a big fan of God of War and want to get it, it's only £25 in Tesco on PS4, the new one, and about 28 on PS5. So huge difference from 70. And that there ends bargain hunt for this week on the stream. Rogue says, to be honest, the Switch is my favourite Nintendo console since the GameCube, my first ever game console. Yeah, the Switch is humongously popular. It's sold 122 million units since 2017, and we're nearly at 1 billion games sold for the system, so that's incredible. And within a month, the Pokemon game has sold 20 million copies. So some big numbers there. We have Rogue Cinema here saying, Pete, what was your first game console? My first game console, well, was more of a handheld. It was the Game Boy Advance. I got the Game Boy Advance SP, and it was like right at the end of the Game Boy's lifespan when the DS came out. So I had the DS afterwards. But home console, it would be the Wii. Again, another fantastic console. So many fun memories there. And then we have True Action Star the Dow saying, give me some good Pedro Pascal roles. He was in Game of Thrones, I know that. That's where I first heard of him. For me, I only really know of him from Mandalorian and Last of Us, but he was in an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer he was in like the first episode of Series 4 for like 5 minutes. Wasn't he also in the new Wonder Woman film?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet. I've heard it's really bad.
It's not great.
It's stuff sitting on the shelf sealed. I paid full price for that bugger.
Fucking hell, Pete. I might have to just go with the Kingsman Golden Circle.
Yeah, he's in that. Scott, what about you?
I quite enjoyed Reequalizer 2. I thought that was a decent sequel.
Yep, very good pick there. And Mike Axman, what about you? Why am I saying Mike Axman? You're the only Mike here.
I honestly don't really think I've seen that many films of him, but I'll probably just have to say that one from last year, the Nicolas Cage one, Massive Talent. Yeah, I'll probably just have to say that. Yeah.
I still need to watch it.
They were a brilliant pair up, they were.
Yeah.
We have Rob here saying, good stream, guys. Thanks for watching, Rob.
Cheers, Rob.
Cheers, Rob.
We have Rogue Cinema here saying, I remember playing Mario Sunshine to death, even though I can't remember much about the story, but I've got 3D All-Stars on Switch, but I haven't played Sunshine yet. That's the best way to play Sunshine. It is at full screen at 60 FPS, and it's the best way to play it. Oh, it's a very good game. I enjoyed it a lot when playing it. Correction Star says, did Mel Gibson ever watch Eyes Wide Shut with his parents? I think I'd be watching it with my eyes wide shut if I was with my parents. No, I wouldn't even dare do that. Rogue Cinema says, I also played Super Mario 3D Land on my 3DS, 100% completion twice, once on my 3DS and once on my new 3DS. Now have 3D World to 100% just to be satisfied. Yeah, I 100% 3D, pardon me, I 100% 3D Land on the 3DS. That was a great game. You get like 2 different games in it. Once you complete it, you get another load of levels. So yeah. 3D World is even better, and try out Bowser's Fury on the little extra game mode. That is a blast. That is a lot of fun. Marvel fan says, yeah, I hate strobe lighting in films or TV shows. Most of the time, companies don't inform viewers about film TV shows containing strobe lighting, but now warning is on the back of the DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K box. Yeah, I know sofas are the same with these strobe lighting. Some of them can be really effective, give you a headache or whatever. They just make me feel a bit sickified. It's odd because I can play video games with like flashing lights. Doesn't intrude on me, but as soon as it's a movie, damn, it affects me. I have to close my eyes. I think Godzilla, King of the Monsters had a lot of flashing sequences in it, and that bloody did me. I had a headache for days after watching that one. I think if they just put a little icon in the bottom of the screen, just like letting you know when it's about to come up, that would be a big help. True Action Star says, what was the last horror film to scare you? That's a good question. I can't think of one. I mean, Barbarian was creepy, I must admit. It kept me on the edge of my seat, let's just say. didn't scare me, but the tension, you could cut it with a knife, and I was on edge the whole time watching it. So I'm going to say that one. Andy?
Yeah, maybe Hereditary or Smile.
Yeah. I'm going to have to check out Smile, and I'll probably say, oh, this is probably no different to a CBeebies show, knowing me.
I don't think it will be. Some of the clips I have seen that are pretty creepy, so I'll be surprised.
Oh, I'll have to watch it soon. I'll see. I think it's online to stream, so I'll give it a go. What about you, Scott?
The one that springs to mind that I watched recently has got Big Ghost Watch. That really scared me on the night I watched it.
That is creepy. Yeah, I agree there. Watching that, and then the TV went weird and the electrics went weird for me. I thought, yeah, we're not watching that for a little while. No, that is. But you can easily see why a lot of people were terrified of that when that first came out back in the 90s. I think it was the 90s. A lot of people see it. They tune in at 10 o'clock for the news, and they got that. Yeah, that would have scared him shitless.
Yeah, definitely.
And what about you, Mike?
Yeah, the last one probably was Smile. Like it didn't like outright terrify me, but I did find it pretty creepy to be fair.
Next up, we have Marvel fans saying Rob Zombie's The Munsters has a warning on the back of the DVD and Blu-ray case to inform viewers with epilepsy not to watch it. And a good thing, I have ignored it. I've heard bad things about this movie. It is rough. It is. I can see how it can be so bad it's good, because I know Jamie's a big fan of it. He quite like it because it's so bad it's good. And I think you're the same, aren't you, Andy?
Yeah, I was exactly the same as Jamie. I just thought it was absolutely god awful, but my god, is it entertaining for all the wrong reasons.
It's good to hear you enjoyed it.
It's just a car. The whole movie is a car crash. You just can't take your eyes away from.
That is a perfect description of it, I must admit. You're right there. What about you, Scott?
I haven't actually watched it yet, but I'm intrigued to check it out because I do love films that are so bad it's entertaining, sort of thing.
And have you seen it, Mike?
No, I'm not seeing it.
Okay, Traction Star says bacon roll or sausage sandwich. I would say bacon roll. Preferably Costa's one. They are delicious. Andy?
Yeah, I'd probably have to go with sausage roll.
Okay, like a good sausage, I see. Scott, what about you? Do you prefer nice big sausage or bacon?
I knew it was coming.
So what about you, Scott? Whatever takes your fancy.
I do prefer sausage roll, to be honest. But I would have worded it a bit differently, not gonna lie. I do love bacon rolls, but I think the sausage rolls from Greg's are just so nice.
Oh, I do agree. I do like the Greg's sausage rolls. They're proper nice. They do like a Subway one for in the breakfast. It's like a breakfast bap, and they put sausage in. Oh, delicious. And what about you, Mike? Bacon or sausage roll?
Yeah, sausage rolls for me. I actually really like the vegan sausage rolls from Greg's. I think they're actually really tasty.
Oh wow! I have tried them, and I'm just like, oh, they taste so salty or sugary. It just didn't really sit with me. But I have tried vegan burgers, and I absolutely love them from McDonald's. I can eat them.
Yeah,
it's strange. Thanks for the food question on a movie stream. Gary says, what actor appears in all three original Indiana Jones films playing a different character in each film?
Roach.
Pat Roach, isn't it? Yeah.
Ah, that's cool. Right. We had Marvel fan here saying, has anybody watched the TV show called Doc Martin? Currently getting the box set Series 10 plus specials. This is out on the 20th of February, but I watched this series on BritBox last year. Cracking TV show. Martin Clunes is a miserable old git of a doctor. It's hilarious. It is more funny than dramatic. Christmas special was nice. Apparently it's finished now, but it's a wonderful show. And the whole Cornwall countryside of it looks splendid. Have you seen it, Andy?
I've only ever seen it being advertised, but the show just I can't remember a time when the show like didn't exist. Like it's always been on like the telly, like always advertised, but I've never seen an episode of it.
Yeah, I think it's been going for like 20 years and now it's just stopped, which is a shame. You seen it, Scott?
I don't think I have actually, but I've definitely heard of it a lot of times, definitely.
And have you seen it, Mike?
No, I've never watched it, to be honest. But wasn't Sigourney Weaver in an episode?
She popped up 2 or 3 times in it
Oh,
because she's a
okay,
big
yeah.
fan of the series, and apparently I think the producer of the series, which is Martin Clunes' wife, is actually good friends with her, and she asked, could I be in the series?
Oh,
So
well.
that's quite cool. Right. The viewer Drew says, I like Bohemian Rhapsody, but I think the third act was the best part aside from Rami Malek's performance. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I also like the third act of Rambo Last Blood. That's probably the only good part of the film.
Yeah, I agree, to be fair.
It's a violent version of Home Alone, but it's a lot of fun, that part is. Gary says Doc Martin is good fun. Martin Clunes is always a good laugh. Absolutely. The Viewer Drew says, I think American Werewolf in Paris has absolutely horrible CGI. The transformation effects didn't look realistic at all. The film was just awful anyway. Oh, no. Have you seen that one, Andy? American Werewolf in Paris?
I've stayed clear of it just because I've heard it's terrible, but I probably will check it out eventually at some point.
I remember watching it on Horror Channel thinking it was American Werewolf in London and was like, I didn't know we took a trip to Paris, and I was like, oh my god, this is dreadful. Awful stuff. You seen it, Scott?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard great things about it, to be honest.
Don't blame you. And what about you, Mike? Have you seen it?
No, again, I've just been put off by the bad reviews, so I've just stayed away from it.
Sinjin says Bird Pandemic had some of the best CGI ever. I have never heard of that one. Is that like an asylum film? It sounds like an asylum film.
I don't know if he means Birdemic.
I think it must be Birdemic. Yeah.
God.
Marvel fan says it's sad that they ended Doc Martin. Also, I can't believe they got Sigourney Weaver in the show. Yeah, big fan of the show. Quite a few famous celebs have popped up over the years. The viewer Drew says, I find it crazy that some of the early reviews for Ant-Man 3 said Kang surpasses Thanos as villain. I could easily see why. He does seem to be very threatening, and Jonathan Majors, that's his name, is a really good actor. He's popped up before in the MCU and he's been very good in it. So, yeah, look forward to seeing his performance. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I look forward to seeing him, but strange that he's been, getting such high praise because Thanos was popping up, in and out of movies before we got to Infinity War.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still looking forward to it. Looking forward to, what it's all about.
Absolutely. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. Thanos is a fantastic villain. I don't know too much about Kang, to be honest.
No worries. And Mike?
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't really know too much about it, in all honesty.
No worries. DVD from Film Bloke says, I wasn't keen on Fargo when I first saw it, but I love it now. Fargo and Barton Fink are my favourites. That's good. Still need to see Barton Fink. Isn't that the one with, what's his name? Can't remember his name now. Marvel fan says, has anybody seen the trailer for the movie Strays? Haven't even heard of it.
No.
The only thing I've heard that's called Stray is that game that came out last year called Stray about a cat. The viewer Drew says, question for everyone. Which movie do you think has the worst CGI? X-Men Origins or American Werewolf in Paris? I think American Werewolf in Paris. Yeah, American Werewolf in Paris. The older film and the worse film. Yeah, Andy? Well,
Yeah, I haven't seen Paris, so I'll probably just have to say X-Men Origins.
yeah. Scott?
Yeah.
I've only seen Origins, so it'd have to be that one by default.
And same with Mike.
Yep.
Drew says, how can you go from American Werewolf in London, a classic movie with amazing transformation effects, to a movie where the werewolf looks like something out of a video game? That's true. Edward says, what's your favourite John Ritter film? I'm going to have to ask my good friend Google for this.
Yeah, same there.
What's he been in? Apparently
Heard
he's
of
been
it,
in
though.
he's been in Bad Santa and It,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say those two straight away. He was also in the TV series 8 Simple Rules. I didn't know that. But yeah, what about you, Andy?
Mine's the one I mentioned earlier, Stay Tuned. I just adore that film.
Good pick. Mike, what about you?
I'd probably just have to say It, to be honest.
Yeah. Scott?
I would probably have to go with it as well, to be fair. I think that's a really good film. I do also really enjoy problem child films as well.
Problem child films are pretty good. It's been a while since I've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
The viewer Drew said, Marvel fan says to the viewer Drew, I haven't watched American Werewolf in Paris, but I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine, so I would say X-Men Origins Wolverine. True Action Star says, what's your guys' thoughts on Evil Dead TV series and films? Only ever seen the films, haven't seen the series, really want to see the series, but first one's a classic. Yes, it's shown its age, but for what they did at the time, it was groundbreaking. Second one's a much more, shall I say, enhanced version of the first one, a more better version of it. Ash seems to be a more interesting character as well. Third one is a lot of fun. Probably my favourite of the franchise. And the remake does something different, it does. And it's probably one of the most bloodiest films I've ever seen. But I thought it was pretty good. Andy, what about you?
Yeah, I love the films and love the series. Massively entertaining. Bruce Campbell's got great charisma in both the series and the movies. Yeah, just a great time.
Absolutely. Scott?
Yeah, absolutely love the films. I think it's one of the most consistent horror franchises out there, to be honest. I haven't seen the series yet, but I've heard really good things about it.
And Mike, what about you?
Yeah, just all the stuff involving Bruce Campbell, the first 3 movies and the series. Yeah, I just love it all.
Nice. Marvel fans make me feel old by saying Finding Nemo and Shaun of the Dead are turning 20 this year. Wow.
I remember when they came out.
I remember when Finding Nemo came out. Oh, dear.
I think I saw both of those more or less when they come out as well.
Yeah.
Look at me, Scott. How old were you when Shaun of the Dead came out?
About 3, I think. I liked zombie films when I was younger. I don't know why.
I just imagine it at school. It's just like, oh, what are you watching this weekend, guys? Oh, I'm watching Finding Nemo. Oh, I'm watching Monsters Inc. I'm watching Shaun of the Dead. Brilliant. It is a lot of fun, that film is.
But I'm not sure when it come out on DVD. Though it might have been a year late or so. So I might have been 4 when I first watched it. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, 4 is a much more reasonable age to watch it.
Yeah.
I watched Razorhead at about 6 years old, but if I watched it at 5, now that would have been over the top.
Yeah.
DVD from Film Bloke says, yeah, The Specialist is crap. I had to wash my eyes out with bleach after seeing Stallone. Wow, that bad. I think that's in that box set that I've got, the Stallone box set with like Tango and Cash. Oh.
Yeah.
Now here's one I want to watch, Copland. It's a decent Stallone film. I've heard it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good
I
film.
love that film.
Okay, I'm pretty certain it's on ITV Player, so I'll have to give it a watch on there. DVD from Phone Bloke says Stallone's ass crack. Okay. Never thought I'd usher those words. Traction Star says, who are some of your favourite vinyl girls? That's a good question. I haven't got a clue. Do you want to go first, Andy?
Probably Sydney Prescott and Laurie Strode. Yeah.
Very good. Very good picks there. Scott?
I would have to go with Sydney Prescott as well.
Yep. And Mike?
I'd probably have to go with Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nancy. I would say Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street as well, and Sydney as well. We've got Brian Drums here saying, yo, hey Brian, hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for joining. We've got Marvel fans saying Inside Number 9 is ending at Series 9. Oh, that's a shame, but I see what they did there. True Action Star says, if you guys read, what are some of your favourite authors? Don't know. I haven't read a book in ages. Apart from liking Harry Potter as a kid and Lord of the Rings when I was a kid, I haven't really read much. Andy?
Yeah, same as you, Pete. But one of the most recent ones I've read is probably stuff by Stephen King. Yeah.
Very good author there. Scott?
I'm really not too sure. I haven't read the book in ages, in all honesty.
And Mike?
Yeah, definitely Stephen King for me.
Very talented writer. Josh says, hey fellas, I'm back. Hey Josh, hope you're doing well, mate. Rogue says, Pikmin 4 has finally been announced for a late 2023 release. Yes! Yes. Very excited for that. Thank you very much, Rogue. You've made my night. I do actually have a load of cuddly toy Pikmin that I actually got sent by Nintendo, so those probably will have to come out in a Pikmin 4 review when that comes out. Look forward to playing that. Marvel fan says Incredibles is played with flashing lights, which could make viewers uncomfortable. I heard the sequel contains a sequence of strobe lighting. I haven't seen it.
Yep.
Does it? Oh.
Yeah, it's something to do with the villain in that film. They like hypnotize people, and it's really flashy.
Oh, I'll have to be careful when getting around to watching that one. But I remember watching the first Incredibles and wasn't affected by its flashing lights. It's been a while since I've seen it, so probably give it another go and see if it affects me now. Andy says, Marvel and DC, I find the DC trailers are always a lot more memorable than Marvel. The Joker trailer, great trailer. The trailer for Batman, great trailer. In recent years, Marvel's always the same CGI. I agree there. I must admit, when I saw the Batman trailer and he was coming out with a car, I'm Vengeance, it was just, and the music was playing, got me well pumped for that film. And the Joker trailer was very good as well. Gary says he was in Unusual Suspects.
Yeah, Pete Postlethwaite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Great film, that.
Gary says the Criterion Bruce Lee set is top quality. Wow, that would be good to get. And DVD from Film Block says the medium rare set is very good as well.
Yeah.
Marvel fan says, I still think The Incredibles 2 should have not been made. When the film came out in cinemas, it caused children to have seizures. Wow, that's bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
What are your favourite John Travolta movies and worst Travolta movies? I like him in Broken Arrow. I think he's great in that and Face Off. Worst ones, there was one, was it called The Fanatic? I think it was, from a few years ago. That was bad. Oh, Andy, what about you?
Yeah, I love Blowout. It's really great. Carrie, Pulp Fiction, Grease. Really enjoy. Yeah, Broken Arrow, Face Off. One I really enjoy. Worst for me, Battlefield Earth.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah, and maybe Look Who's Talking Now as well. Yeah, not great films.
Here's another underrated film, I think. Bolt. Didn't he voice the dog in that and Bolt?
Yeah, Bolt's not bad. I don't mind Bolt.
Yeah, I like that one. I thought it was good. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, most of the ones that you guys said, Grease, Pulp Fiction, Face Off, Broken Arrow, that sort of stuff.
Nice. And Mike?
Yeah, just like Blowouts and Pulp Fiction are two of my favourites. And then the worst, yeah, probably Battlefield Earth.
We've got David here with some movies and popcorns. Cool. Marvel fan says, before my epilepsy, my first ever gaming console was a PSP. My second console was the DS, and my third console was Wii, and my last ever gaming console was way back in 2012 with the Xbox 360. Oh, very nice selection of consoles there, mate. We have Jim's Retro Emporium here saying, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jim. Thanks for joining. We've got Edward saying, have any of you guys seen the extended No Way Home? I haven't, and I haven't heard it's very good, so I'm not that fussed. I'm happy with the edition we've got. Andy?
No, I haven't seen the extended yet. No.
You checked out the extended cut, Scott?
No, I haven't seen the original version yet, to be honest.
And what about you, Mike?
No, I've only seen the original one.
This is an interesting question from Mike. Which singer band would you like to hear do the next theme song for Just Eat? I'd like to see Steven Seagal do the theme song for Just Eat. That'd be entertaining. Cool, singer and band. That is a good question. Because isn't the recent one Katy Perry?
I think so.
Let's get Adele to do it. She'll probably make us cry by the end of the ad, but yeah, we'll have Adele. Andy?
Sod it, Bob Dylan.
Scott?
Morrissey, I don't know.
And Mike, what about you?
I don't even think I've ever heard the actual Just Eat song, if I'm being honest. So I wouldn't even know how it goes.
I think it just goes, did somebody say just eat?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just say Metallica.
Very good. David Beach says, Pete, do you own a Nintendo 64? Mario 64, one of the best games out there. Don't own a Nintendo 64, but I do own Mario 64 digitally and also the remake on the DS. Great game. Sinjin says, Urban Cowboy was a good film with John Travolta. That's one on the premiums, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good movie, that.
Might have to get that one in the next premium sale. David says, Pete, do you own it? And yeah, I did say I've got it. DVD from Film Bloke says Incredibles 2 could have triggered an electric soldier Porygon situation. Oh, I remember this. Yes, the Pokemon episode that was banned after it was sent tons of Japanese children to hospital. Yeah, there can be a lot of issues with that with Japanese cartoons. I can remember. Sinjin, does anybody remember the Dreamcast console? Yes. Sega. Yeah. Didn't have one myself, but I remember some of the games on it. Did anybody here have a Dreamcast?
Not me, no.
No.
Gary says Xbox 360. Xbox 360 was legendary. Those Modern Warfare lobbies were hardcore gamers. Yeah, they were, and they were always trash talk. And my word, the amount of teenagers you hear going, ooh, ooh. Oh, my word, I had to mute the microphones all the time. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, I can relate.
Yeah. You don't seem to get that now, bizarrely, while playing Call of Duty, and I must admit, I kind of do miss it.
Yeah.
We've got Sinjin here saying, why does Seagal still make movies? Surely he knows their shit. I don't think he's actually made a movie in absolute years. I think his last movie was about 3 or 4 years ago, and that was rock bottom. Last thing I heard, I'm pretty certain he lives in Russia now. And he's changed a lot now. He's quite big, and he's got a big beard and all that. So yeah. DVD from Film Bloke says they made a joke about it on the episode of The Simpsons. Yes, they did. I can remember that one. That was when they went to Japan. It was like the robot with the flashing eyes, weren't it?
Yeah.
And they were all on the floor going, oh, like that, weren't they? And the final comment of tonight is from DVD from Film Bloke, saying the Dreamcast was the most underrated console from what I understand. No one bought it because of how badly this Sega fucked up the launch of the Saturn. That is absolutely correct. It was Sega's last console on the system, which was a shame. They made some great stuff, but it allowed them to publish games, which now we get Sonic on Nintendo and all sorts. But Sega's doing quite well for themselves now, so that's good to see. DVD from Film Bloke says, Sinjin, what pays the bills? I believe he's serious allegations against him. Yeah, apparently so. I've heard some news about that. I remember he did a Steven Seagal law enforcement show where apparently when he was filming Under Siege, it was a police officer.
Yeah.
Half the time when he goes to like these crime scenes, he acts like he owns the place. It's like, I'm Steven Seagal, and this is me doing a police officer. Terrible accent there. And then half the people were just like, they got him on the police bonnet, and they're just like, oh my god, is that Steven Seagal? Yeah, that's me. It's a funny series, and then like he'll do his crime fighting crap, and then he'll go into like a rhythm and blues pub and just play some guitars. Weird show, very weird show.
Yeah, it sounds it, to be fair.
I think I watched it all on Amazon Prime last year, and I binge watched it all. Did you see that? Mike says, really enjoyed the stream, lads. Have a good night. Thanks ever so much, Mike. Look forward to chatting to you tomorrow night, because I think both me, Mike, are you on it tomorrow night, Scott, as well?
I am indeed, yeah. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to be on Mike's stream tomorrow night. I think it starts at 8 o'clock, and I'm popping on at 9 o'clock. What time are you popping on, Scott?
I think Mike said that I'll be on from 8 till 10.
Awesome. And what time are you popping on, Mike?
I think it was from 10, but I didn't actually realise it was tomorrow. I thought it was Friday. I'll have to double check that.
So yeah, we'll look forward to being on your stream tomorrow night, Mike, and we'll look forward to chatting to you again next week on the stream, Mike. Be great to have you on here. It's been a while, my friend. DVD from Film Bloke says good night. Good night, DVD from Film Bloke. Sinjin says the Dreamcast had the best controller ever. That was a cool controller, I must admit. The Dreamcast one, that's a funny one. I've got not Dreamcast, no, the Nintendo 64. That's a funny one. Marvel fan says, good night, guys. Good night, mate. And Mike says, I'd love to have Andy on soon too if he's down.
Absolutely, yeah. Just get in touch. Let me. Yeah, if you want me on, I'm more than happy to be on. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be brilliant to see Andy on Mike's streams. They're a lot of fun.
Defo.
Yeah.
And we've got Sinjin here saying, good night, guys. Another enjoyable stream as always. Thanks ever so much, Sinjin. So yeah, that'll do it for tonight. Thanks ever so much, everybody, for watching the stream, and to the 18 people still watching at home. It's been a lot of fun. I'd like to thank, as always, Andy from Forgotten World of Movies joining, Scott and Mike for joining. It's been a lot of fun. And thanks to Danielle and Mike from T-Shizzle for joining as well. Everybody's links in the description down below, so go and give them a sub and a follow. And we'll see you all next week, where we have 2 special guests again. As I said before, we'll have Nige from Rock God 2004, as well as Mike from Digizzy That. So on that note, see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.